What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, man. I want to tell y'all like this, bro. We in a bad time right now, and people are acting crazy. It's a lot of stuff going down, and it's Sunday, guys. Power of the Mind segment, and I think now it's a good time for us to have a discussion about everything that's going down. We gotta, talk about some things. I'm going to drop the link in the chat in case somebody wants to come up and join the panel for this discussion today. But it's a lot to talk about, man. Just recently, guys, a lot of you guys may have seen the video, but my daughter was just downtown here yesterday in a riot. And I'm not a riot, I'm sorry, a protest, actually. And you guys can't see because I'm kind of blocking it, but it says riots across America. It's basically what we're talking about today, and the power of the mind, guys. Like, where we play a part in all of this and what's going on. But like I was saying, my daughter was in a protest yesterday in Columbus, Ohio, downtown, and they have downtown totally locked off. They have us on 10 o'clock curfew here. Downtown is totally locked off. Well, they ended up spraying the crowd and gassing the crowd there. And theirs was a peaceful protest, I mind you, not like some of the things that we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about some serious things today. And I'm not worried about views or copyright or any of that nonsense. I'm going to show some footage because this is something that we all need to see. If it fucking gets to that, I get a strike, I'll take the video down. I don't care. But we're going to watch it and talk about it today because it's getting out of control. And it has to start somewhere. We have a community of 1,200 or so, and we can start by spreading the word here. And we need to talk about this today. So let me get this link in the chat and again, guys, I know that things are going on around us. I do understand that there are certain things that happen that's out of our control. But there are a lot of things that as people, we need to hold ourselves accountable for. And there are a lot of things that we need to change as people that can potentially decrease some of the things that's going on. We're not going to stop it. This stuff is getting out of hand. It's getting really bad. But there's things that we can do in our communities to decrease some of the stuff that's going on. Daniel in the building, my friend from Germany. What's up, Daniel? Civil war is going down. It appears so, Daniel. Augustine Rogue in the building. What's going on, Augustine Rogue? Queen Lisa in the building. What's up, Queen Lisa? Appreciate you coming through, sis. Martin Machine, what's up with you? Samuel Shaw, good day to you, sir. Kat, what's up, Kat? Appreciate you coming through, sis. D, glad you use your platform to speak on this. Yeah, I appreciate you, sis. We're going to talk about it. Man, Grow, what's up, fam? Yeah, all is well here, man. My daughter's safe and, everything's well with her, too. Thanks for asking, man, Grow. Sporting Advantage, what's up with you? Carlos Mendoza in the building. What's good with you, Carlos? Appreciate you coming through. Iceman in the building. What's good, Iceman? My man Ayob's in the house. What's up, James? That's my other son, guys. I got kids all around. What's up, James? Appreciate you, man, coming through to talk to us. Charles D in the building. Brick City. What up? All right, guys. So, yeah. First, I'm going to start like this, man. Let's take a look at, let me screen share this. Let me know, make sure y'all can see this. I want to screen share this. All right, babe, I'll be here. And I know it's a whole lot of people say, D, you better watch what you do because, copyright, man, fuck all of that. We need to see this today, Jack. So I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. I don't want to maximize that. All right, there it is. y'all check this out, bro. Y'all can see that, right? Oh, let me remove that comment. All right, see, this is the type of stuff now. This stuff, guys, is going on all around the nation. This is not just one city, right? This type of stuff is going on. And my black women being shot, being killed by the NYPD. I'm tired of it. I have 3 black men in my home. I'm tired. I am tired. That, what the lady was talking about, is not a problem. This type of stuff is a problem. Because standing there holding up signs, protesting, that's not a problem. But when you start flipping police cars, burning buses, see this shit, this type of shit right here, that's when it becomes violent, bro. Because that type of shit can hurt these officers. And a lot of people start to get in their mind is that it's us against them. I have a cousin, first cousin, that's a police officer, bro. He's not out here beating people, killing unarmed people, running up in the houses. Look at this.
A small number of people in the scheme of things protesting to begin with, very few of whom committed acts of violence, but that few was systematic in their efforts to harm police officers and to create damage to police vehicles, to storefronts, to other property. And yet that's not going to get us anywhere. But now it is time for people to go home.
They have one here. This is one of the cities. We have a 10 o'clock curfew. We cannot be outside after 10 o'clock. They have totally shut down downtown Columbus. You can't get down there off of any of the highways, you know? And again, guys, like this type of stuff here, man, this is unacceptable, bro. It really is. This is unacceptable. And within our communities, we need to tell our people, our friends, our brothers, our nephews, our children, you know what I mean, to not participate in these things. I'm not talking about, see, here's the thing. I just told my daughter, you know, what she did the other day, going down there, standing up for George, you know, speaking out and holding a sign for George Floyd. If you guys didn't see the live protest, I put it up on the channel because she was on Facebook Live and I just aired it through the channel. And it was her voice. So I'm proud of her for taking a stand. But I just called her this morning and I told her it's to the point now where this type of thing is dangerous, because you guys could be going out there for a peaceful protest and you just want to hold signs and you want to speak out and you want to exercise your constitutional rights. But there can always be a group of 30 or 40 that's going out there with a different agenda. And then so the crowd faces this type of stuff that happens right here. That's what happens. The crowd, although everybody's not there for any type of violence, the crowd faces this type of stuff that happens right there. The type of stuff that we were just watching on this video. And you know, where this all falls in place and the power of the mind, guys, is this. We have to understand something. The things that are coming out in the media are coming out in the media for a reason. It's meant to excite the people. It's meant to excite, to make people angry, to frustrate people. These reports are being put out intentionally. We have to understand this, because the ultimate goal, guys, is to disarm the public, take all of our guns and our arms away, number one. And the way that they can get that done is by instituting martial law, because people don't understand something, okay? When martial law in this country is instituted, the Constitution is nullified. So all of you guys running around, shit, I got the right. They can't violate my rights. Once they institute martial law and the military comes to police the streets, not these guys whose cars you burning down, military with military armor, military rifles, you know, once they start to police the streets, the Constitution is nullified during the time of martial law. You don't have these rights that you're talking about. And with everything that's going on, with those riots and all of this that we're watching, that's the type of stuff that can come around. Martial law. And when martial law is instituted, there is no curfew or I just got to run to the gas station right quick. First and foremost, after 10 o'clock, ain't no damn gas station going to be open. And if you get caught out after 10 o'clock, you're not going back home. You're going to a detaining facility. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to detain you. And because you have no rights, you're not going to get that one phone call. You don't have a right to a public defender. All of this stuff doesn't exist during martial law. And all of the people that's out here fucking off, flipping police cars, burning buses, looting stores, you're pushing us closer and closer to martial law. Donald Trump just put up a tweet saying, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. What the fuck do you think that means, people? Open up your minds. We have to start at home. Tell the people around us. This is the perfect time, guys. We have a pandemic in place, and if you guys start losing your fucking mind and looting and going crazy, bam, that's when they institute martial law. It's a perfect reason to institute it. Right now. Okay, guys, I got a little away from the chat. Let me get back to the chat real quick because this is a serious topic, guys. I'm sorry if I get a little passionate about it. Boxing Finesse in the building. Appreciate you, my man. Raider from LA. What's up, Raider? I see you stepping up in the building. Charles D, I got you, dog. I see you in here. Max Man 2000. What's up, Max? Appreciate you, fam. My brother LouisSports Network in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Unbiased or biased boxing talk. What's up with you, brother? I appreciate you, man. Miguel, what's up, Miguel? I see you out there, fam. Tim Dub, always. Tim Dub, you the man, bro. You always. There go my man right there, Munky Kung Fu. Perfect opportunity for the government to implement martial law. Pretty sure. That's what I'm talking about, Munky Kung. That's exactly what I was just saying, bro. It's the perfect time, and you guys are giving them every reason to do it. All of you guys doing this stuff out there. Martial law is instituted right now. You can forget about elected Donald Trump, punk ass. Yeah, you can. I mean, the president doesn't matter during that time anyway, but. You know, well, he kind of does and he doesn't because the commander-in-chief of the military is the president. So will still be somewhat of a need for that, Samuel, you know, at least figuratively. The National Guard has been about as useful as sending the, yeah, but I'll tell you this, Mr. Wild, shout out to you for stepping in the building. That is actually, that's a good comment, but still, you have to remember the fear tactic. This is why people are doing a lot of the things that they're doing now. A lot of people are afraid, okay? They're afraid that people know that bad times are coming. So a lot of these people running around looting, they think these little material things that they're out there stealing is going to help them get through these bad times, which is not, because you're stealing things that you think is of value. But if television is not really there to be watched, or there's nothing but government programs that you don't want to watch, if money, the dollar is devalued and there's no value, what are you doing, people? You know what high commodities are going to be during rough times? Bread, water. That's going to be worth more than a dollar bill. People got to get that in their mind. So these people running around out there looting, what are you looting for? This is materialistic value that, if anything, you could fence on the black market to get some type of monetary value. But what is any of that going to do to you when the shit hits the fan? Hell, if we had a margin call, the dollar bill wouldn't be worth a damn thing. But that's another story, and I'm not even going to go into that. Ed, what's up with you, Ed? Soaking Truth. I appreciate that, my man. Lid, Max Ali, what's up? East Coast Rap. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through. Epic, what's up with you, Epic? True Talk. Hal from Germany. What's up, man? I appreciate you, Epic. Yeah, I was in Ansbach, Germany, Epic. I stayed in Ansbach, Germany for a while. Zoomy Boomies in the building. It doesn't exist with the Patriot Act already. Too, they can be held with any call. Yeah, that's another story, but I don't even want to get into that. With George Bush Sr. instituted that for us Zoomy Boonies, but I'm sure you already know all about that, my man. One guy said the true facet is to call everybody else fat. Yeah. Hey, you guys snuck up in here on me. I was running. I just want to make sure that I appreciate all you guys coming in here. Yeah, hell yeah. Alberto said, this man hit the nail tight right on the head. Keep it up. I appreciate that, fam. I am, bro. I mean, I haven't even begun. We got a lot to talk about today. I haven't even begun. AA Boxing Blunts. Boxing and Blunts, what's up? Loomis Fargo got raided. Some people got rich. Not really, bro. They think they did. But trust and believe, they didn't. Not really. Scott Brown in the building. What's up? At least most are wearing masks. Yeah, I seen that, Scott. I seen that. Yeah, they did have masks. They did have that. Martin Machine, what's good with you, fam? He said that they're trying to bring a new world order. Yeah. All right, guys. So I just wanted to catch up with you guys in the chat. You know, we got to understand something too, guys. Where did all of this start from? Or why are these people so-called looting, or these riots, or even the peaceful protests? This is all supposed to be representation for George Floyd, guys. That's what this is supposed to be about. How the fuck does this right here, how does this right here represent George Floyd? How does that represent George Floyd? This don't represent George Floyd. That video we watching people out there looting, I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, so the video that I had up yesterday, let me I'll pull that up, which I can't get copyrighted for this. It's my own damn channel. So, well, I don't really care about copyrights on this one, guys. I swear, I'm just gonna, they can do whatever. I'll pull the video down or whatever, but we're gonna talk about this today. Or I'll take out whatever they claim. This stuff needs to be heard. As long as they don't give me a strike, I don't want them to stop my channel. But if they copyright claim it, as long as it don't affect my channel, I don't care. I don't. Like, I don't care about the money on this shit. But if they copyright claim it, okay, as long as feedback. Sorry about that, guys. No, okay, so I found it. Well, anyway, this situation with my daughter yesterday, when she was down there in the middle of the riots and everything, as a father, like, I'm sitting there and I'm proud of her for standing up, for being out there, so to speak, on the front line. You know what I mean? And just the things that I instilled in her coming up, that means something to me as a father. Like, at least she listened. At least I showed her some good values and such, But also as a parent, man, it's kind of tough to see your child out there. El Jefe, no way, no day, dog. You can't come on here right now. So and don't start trolling the chat on this either. But it's tough for a parent to see his child out there, especially when that the police done sprayed and mace guys and shit like that. You know what I mean? I can't, Like it was tough to deal with. And I told her this morning, I was like, look, guys, no more riots. No more, I mean, not riots, but no more protests. I understand what you guys are trying to do, but like I said, it's always a few out there that, you know, they don't have the same ideas that you guys have. They're out there for trouble. And that's not what we want, you know. And I know that you guys have the right ideas, but that can turn bad instantly. So she's grown and she can do whatever she decides to do. But I was like, I would just appreciate if you do no more
Man, shut the fuck up, D, man. You don't know shit about boxing, bro. What the fuck you
Oh my
speaking
God,
about,
what
bro?
are you talking
Man, you don't
about?
know
Hey, yo, El Jefe, you okay?
No, I just put it by. He came in with unbiased shit, bro. Like I said, I just let you guys in, but you know, that's why I told him not today. But anyway, man, I'm not even talking about El Jefe, man. This is serious. Those guys don't have a serious bone in their body right now. And so, like, you know, as family members, as loved ones, we have to put this message out there to not participate in any of this shit, bro. We have to tell our people, as many people as we can reach, to not participate in any of this. It's easy, especially in lower income. I grew up in lower income, and I think, you know, a lot of us may have experienced the lower income life, and we grew up this way. It's easy to get sucked into things that you feel are free or that it appears free right now. So this looting and all of this shit that's going on, stores get kicked wide open, and you're like, oh shit, I could just go in there and grab whatever I want. The cops are not coming. It's not free. It's costing your family. It's costing your friends. It's costing the people that you love safety. It's going to cost them in the end. What you guys are about to bring upon all of us is something that none of us want. So all of you out there looting, that's what you're bringing forth. And I don't think that people realize this. I'm pretty sure the people out there that thinking they're getting free stuff, it ain't hurt nobody. The cops can't stop us. Fuck it, I'm gonna get away with it. You're costing the rest of the nation because this will not continue. This nation runs on big business. Everything is about money in this nation. And if they allow the entire public to run and just take everything for free, it will topple the economy. And that they will not allow to happen. Then people will start being shot and killed and put into prisons. And that's why martial law is going to be instituted before they allow city after city to get out of control and people to just topple the economy. Because listen, it's a worldwide problem, guys. The American economy is attached to the world economy. So all of the guys that's making money, they can allow but so much to happen. But everything that they're allowing to happen right now is what they desire to happen so that they can institute martial law. So we need to use our voice to tell everybody to stop it. Stay the fuck in the house, go to work, go the fuck home, but stop it. Don't lose. We ain't going to be able to reach everyone. But it has to start somewhere. Intangible, what's up with you, fam?
I gotta say, and I know this is probably gonna garner some form of people may not take this well, but I am not in favor of the looting, but I understand it. I do, because peaceful protesting is a thing that has occurred so long, for 50 plus years, has been something that people have stayed committed to, and yet the message has not gotten across. And I can understand taking from businesses that they themselves are customers of and that they benefit, you know? I understand it. I know like killing innocent people, there's no justification for it. But rioting, I can somewhat understand. Like, let me just, how can I put this? The one thing I do think, though, that is a problem with it is there's no organization in it. Like, you have 2/6 of the people that are, you know, like a third of the people that are trying to riot. And then you have another fourth that are cameramen. Then you have another piece of the puzzle that are just, you know, interviewing other pieces of people that are, you know, protesting peacefully. I mean, there's no organization. People have to stand for the right thing and do the exact same thing.
But intangible, okay, and see, this is power of the mind, right? So I always speak on these things, and this is something that applies to all of us. So let me ask you this, intangible. Do you believe in like reciprocity, give or take, karma? You believe in that truth, that law? You believe that that's real? What you put out, you will get back, right? You believe in
Yes.
it? Okay. And I'm pretty sure most people believe in this. And when they listen to my Power to Mind segments in the past, this is basically, I believe in that too. The energy you put out, no matter what it is, this is what you will have coming back to you. And this is something that I firmly believe in and do my best to live by. None of us are perfect. We're all going to slip it time to time. But I do my best to live this way. The energy, guys, that we put out, that's what will be returned. So what we have to understand when I say that is when you go out and you riot, you loot, you destroy things, I don't care what reason you claim you're doing it for. That's the energy you're putting out. So what the fuck do you think is going to come back?
Exactly, but what I'm saying is that that's the energy the government is putting out, and thus the citizens are trying to return it back.
But
you gotta feel
it's working. It's not working for the government, and the damn shit ain't gonna work for the citizens. So you can, again, we can attempt to justify it because we understand what's going on, all of the heat that the government has put on us. We can do that. The problem is, the real problem is it's not solving anything either way. And
oh hell no, I disagree with that.
It's not. No. It may be.
Second.
Hold on. Let me finish. It may be sending a statement, right? And there are going to be repercussions for the statement that it's sending. So I'm not saying that it's not sending a statement. Listen to what I said. Either way, the government putting that energy out or the citizens, it's not solving anything. That's what I said. So I don't know. We can disagree on this, but please tell me, when have we come to a solution? Because look at where we are now. So I can't say that rioting, flipping police cars, breaking into stores and shit is solving anything. I can't say that.
Okay, so what is being civil? What is being civil got people in most unjust situations where the government are doing things? Like the only strength that you have is the strength in the numbers. So if you got a whole bunch of people in numbers going out doing these things for certain reasons to, let people know that we sick and tired. Like, yo, we run y'all work for us, not the other way around. We need some results. Half of the time, that's the only way you get results. When you look over, when I see European countries and stuff like that, when stuff go wrong, they go out in the street and riot for the results. The thing is, bro, you can't just sit around and just expect to be quiet and expect stuff to happen. People get shot every day. People sit in their house and just act like nothing going on. People, kids getting molested, getting picked up off the street traffic every day. People just act like nothing going on, but just continue to turn on the TV and just watch it through the news. You have to, positive action comes from rioting because it makes people look like this. You can't shoot down 100,000 people in the street. You can sit up there and act like you can with the shields and all of that, but no, there's no way a government could shoot 100,000 people in the street. There's no way a government will shoot 20,000 people riding in the street. But I'm just saying, like, from riots, like, yo, it makes them act faster. Like, because when you're just sitting around and you're just like saying whatever from Twitter or social media or whatever, they can just still continue to just sit and doing what they're doing.
And also, another thing I'm gonna point out is, you guys know about Nelson Mandela and what he stood for. He also led riots and things like that and tore down buildings. That brought a lot of change to Africa and apartheid and things like that. So yes, rioting does have an effect.
Right.
There has to be some form of way to calm things like that with chaos.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel as though there has to be some form of actionable item. And you just can't have, like, people can talk all day long. Like, yo, you could talk till you blue in the face. Bro, what is talking done? Like since the beginning of time, all people do is talk. government, you know, do whatever. My thing is this, man. It has to be some form of actionable item, bro. Like, people have to do something. And it gets to the point to where it's like stuff like this, that's like really the way that you get results, honestly. But then afterward, it's like, what you going to do after that? Because it's not just as simple as, oh, get this guy elected and this is going to change. You can elect the next 50 people and that don't necessarily mean things are going to change, bro. I'm tired of hearing that shit.
Right. So, and again, bro, you guys making some valid points, and you actually, both of you guys, just pretty much confirmed what I was saying. You're gonna get results, though. It's gonna bring forth an effect. What my thing is, it's not gonna solve anything because we still have major issues. So nothing is solved. But yeah, something is gonna happen out of it. But here's the thing. It's sort of like the Colin Kaepernick situation when he decided himself to take that knee, right? Something happened out of that. A positive thing happened out of that for the players in general. But for Colin Kaepernick, nothing positive came out of that for him.
But I mean,
Well,
let me just say this though.
Hold on. Let me finish. Don't try to eat the meal before it's finished being prepared, because you ain't gonna get the whole, you know what I mean? So, but what happened for Colin Kaepernick was not essentially what Colin Kaepernick wanted to happen. Okay, what he wanted to happen, he wanted that need to make a statement, to make a big statement. Okay, because he had this platform, he was this football star, but what he also wanted was to continue that voice because he assumed that he could make this statement and keep his position and that platform with that influence. All of that got taken away, but at the end of the day, the statement that he wanted to make, that still took effect. And what I'm saying is, with these people that's out here rioting and looting and doing these things, I'm not saying that it's not going to bring forth action, guys. But what else? What other repercussions and revocations will that bring back? Do those guys want a statement to be made? Yes. Do they want martial law to be instituted? Fuck no.
And situations, in every revolution, bro, there's always going to be a martyr. Or there's going to have to be a few martyrs. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this. Colin Kaepernick, he kind of took his foot off the gas on his own when he took that big check from Nike, when he kind of fell back, you know what I'm saying? And then Jay-Z did what he did with the NFL. I'm just saying, there are a couple of reasons where people accepted money in that situation. They took their foot off the gas and they chose not to continue with the message because the message was firm and clear. And, you know, things were going to be done. If he would have just kept riding in the direction he was, when he took that money, it kind of distorted the way people really felt about what he was dealing for and what he was not dealing for. My whole thing is this, right? I remember, you know, reading, you know, there was this book I read a long time ago. And I can't remember who it was, but, you know, there was this king and this council had decided, you know, he was like, well, you know, they were having council. And he said, you know, for the people, he was like, for the people that are, you know, for the people in poverty, we should make bracelets for all our people, you know, so they know, so we can separate the rich from the poor. And then another guy was sitting at the table. He said, no. He's like, we can't do that. He was like, why not? He was like, because then they'll know how many of them there is and how few of us it is. Talking about the rich from the poor, saying that, you know, the poor would overthrow the rich. And that's the same situation in the world right now. There's a very small percentage of the mass wealthy who run the world, and then you look around and everybody is poor. Now, if I could take Jeff Bezos' money and I could give every man in the world $200,000 based off of what Jeff Bezos has earned, but Jeff Bezos known, and he's supposed to be the richest man in the world, supposedly, which there's several more people richer than him. If he can give over $200,000 to every person in the world based off of his wealth, and you got people in the world struggling, homeless, and there are several other individuals, there are 10 other individuals that are just like him, that's a problem. So when you look at it like millions of people in America, and we looking around and we starving, and there's people that are struggling, and you know what I'm saying, there's not enough school books in school, you know what I'm saying, like there's not proper care, you know what I mean, in lower neighborhoods, it's hard for people to get, you know, people don't get proper dental, people don't get proper health, you know. when you look at all of that stuff, bro, you just say that that's a problem. When there's millions of people and you know that they're the few to the many, it's like, man, well, the many, they supposed to work for us, not the other way around. So maybe we need to start doing something to let the few know that, yeah, we can really crush your ass. But I'm just saying, man, it's a little bit deeper than that, though.
And also, I mean, police are now going to think to themselves, you know, if I fuck up, there's nothing going to protect me anymore. I'm going to be raided, and the city I'm in is going to be destroyed, and there's going to be riots. They're going to now think about the consequences, and it's not just going to be judges that define their consequence. It's going to be the people as well that force the government to make changes before things escalate.
Okay, so I get it. Let me ask you two guys a question. And LouisSports Network, appreciate the comment, bro. Let me get to the chat real quick, guys. We got some more people step in the house. Just want to give some shout outs right quick. Mr. Wild Bill in the building. What's up, Mr. Wild Bill? Appreciate you coming through. Scott Brown, I think I got you before. Owen
So
Bridges.
what? People are looting right now?
Mr. Two Hands, hold on right quick. Owen Bridges, what's up with your fam, Brock? What's up? Appreciate you coming through, Brock. Shane in the building. What's up, Shane? Chant Ralston stepped up in the building. Appreciate you coming through, Chant Ross. Just making sure I caught every Chance family. What's up, Chance family? We get ready to get to that, Chance. I'm gonna keep it to your comment too, Chance. Soccer Training Club in the building. Juan Pablo, Dr. Mario. Appreciate all you guys coming through. So, this is what I was getting ready to say. Speaking on Lewis's comment here, and I'm getting back to you guys too. Once money gets involved, people step off the gas pedal. Okay, check this out. Great comment, Lewis, and it was leading into the question that I was going to ask these two guys, and I'm going to speak about Chance's comment as well. So, guys, let me ask you two something, and everybody in the chat, you guys can leave your comments about this question as well. G Boogie, what's up? Steven Schneider, what's up? If I understand what you guys are saying, that something has to be done and a statement has to be made, right? But let's talk about the statement, because I still feel like that these riots and like statements have to be made. I still don't feel like flipping and burning police cars and breaking into businesses is the way to go. Because as Lewis just said, when money gets involved, people take their foot off the gas pedal. And that goes both ways, right? So understand that this economy, this American economy, affects the world economy. And if people can get together and group together to riot and loot and destroy things, understand this, people. If we could get together to just say stop and not work, not support this entire economy, then whose pockets does it affect? It affects the pockets of the guys illustrating these plans. When you shut them down, when you start making that effect, that's also something that will get that same message spread. Without people dying in the streets, bro, without things getting destroyed, without you toppling it, just stop. Everybody stop. Don't go to work. No one. Man. Just it sounds silly, but it just sounds, to me, it sounds just as silly as in different cities rioting, looting just for martial law to be instated. That's that.
I mean, you're giving an idea of, one thing that one thing that you feel as though could happen. There's nothing wrong with ideas, but my whole thing is this: you got a lot of people that are frustrated out here. You got a lot of people that are upset. You got a lot of people whose sons, daughters, cousins, or whatever that done died, and they fucking mad. People are fucking mad. The world. Like, we're upset. We've been watching so much shit. People are sick and tired of fucking seeing it. So, everybody's, aggression is a little different. Some people really want to act out, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they've been feeling inside for the longest time. Like, for the kid that got his head blown off by the police, for the kid that got his knee, that got a cop neck, knee jammed up in his neck for the kids that's doing 25 to life, just getting harassed every day, just got to fight, just got to scrap for every meal, worry about getting his feet toasted up in the jails and shit like that. cutting these niggas with gem stars and stuff like that because they got wrongfully convicted for a little girl that they try to say they done raped or murdered or stole from or something like that. Like, you know, rest in peace, Khalif Browder, you know, who committed suicide, you know, who killed himself and he got out, you know, due to the fact of all the things that happened to him when he was on Rikers Island, when he was wrongly accused from assaulting and stealing from a so-called Mexican American. And, you know, just the PTSD from everything he went through after he served his 16 plus years in the prison system, you know, he fucking hung himself. So, you know, people, you know, the frustrations are loud and clear because these are the things that are happening to the lower income people every fucking day, bro. We the ones that's going through it, the ones that's in poverty, the ones that's on the lower end of the child line, on the lower end of the spectrum. We the ones that's going through it, and they're frustrated, bro. We tired of being made experiments of. Like, period. You know, living the project because, you know, we a fucking experiment. Like, people don't think of these things, man. But I'm just saying, bro, like, people are sick and tired. And, you know, their anger and what they doing, and it shows that, you know. So when I see people rioting and looting and stuff like that, I understand the effect that it has. So it don't really bother me. You know what I mean? Because when people fucking businesses and shit start getting fucked up and all of that shit, and it start happening on a consistent basis and stuff like that, man, I'm just saying something got to change. I'm saying, fuck it. Do what you gotta do.
Also, I mean, what the rioting does, you gotta understand.
Hold on, right quick, Intangible.
Okay,
I agree that things have to change. I don't see, it's like, I am not willing and I am not so forthcoming to putting my children through martial law, bro. I'm not like, the consequences, the things that these people are doing out here, what is going to bring forth to us, I'm not really, like, it's not worth the trade-off to me. I understand what you guys are saying. You understand why people
they might bring that to your kids anyway.
It's not worth bringing that to me. You understand what I'm saying? It's not worth it. And this is accelerating that. It's going to happen quicker.
Government planning on bringing martial law to people's kids anyway.
Let me show this right quick. Let me share this right quick. Hold on for a second. I want to share this right quick. And now, this right here, this one, guys, this hit home. My son is in Richmond, Virginia, and his uncle just sent this to me last night. Like, Richmond is...
Shout out to the 757.
Yeah, 804. Richmond is on lockdown to 757 Norfolk, Hampton Roads. But they're on lockdown, bro. They can't go out of the house after 10 o'clock, none of that. But they're running around the city, looting the city, breaking in the stores. I just want to show you guys something. Y'all check this out, man. And my son's uncle sent this to me last night, bro.
Like, get back, man, because they still going ham here.
Oh, hold on.
They going ham.
There it is.
Let me see what she got. Oh, she got a surround sound system. Let me get that for $5. I'll cash that. God damn, bro, what you got? That nigga got the speakers on lock. My nigga got on Eminem, so you could have bought that, lame man. She shot this.
Hopefully they got the right shoe size, man.
Yeah.
That'd be very unfortunate if they fucked that up.
They literally just busted the doors open in Walmart.
And I'm gonna give me a couple PS4s, some speakers.
Like, this kind of stuff, like, I don't understand. Look, a lot of these people claim that they're doing this rioting and everything because of George Floyd. What the fuck does any of this have to... Hold on. Let me get my thoughts on
this. Fuck Walmart.
I know
Walmart has killed every mom and pop store across the world.
Let me get my thoughts out, fam. I'm not fucking advocating Walmart or the Waltons or their pockets, my nigga. My thing is this: as black people, when we run around talking about we want to make a statement for George Floyd that just got murdered by fucking police officers, what the fuck does looting Walmart have to do with making a statement, bro?
But also, like you
I
said,
can't get down with that, bro.
but I mean, also, like you said, you were talking about, you know, people's pockets and how that destroys people's pockets. They're coming after businesses that they are serving money to.
Intangible.
Okay, and they're getting taxed to give money to the government.
Purpose, bro. Intangible. They're not coming for that purpose. Now, I get that. If, like you said, if they organize, if all of these people organize and said, okay, we're going to go start hitting big businesses to come after their pockets, it wouldn't be fucking looting Walmart for one. You would go start toppling banks. You would go start hitting businesses that's going to matter, not looting out of Walmart. These people gathered to get free stuff, intangible. That's what they gathered for. So I get what you're saying. It will affect. I get that you're saying it will affect the Waltons' pockets and all of this. But this is not why these people have organized to do this. So we cannot, these people are just doing this to get free stuff. And then this guy right here, I fucking grew up in the streets with him. This guy dragging the TV. I just told my wife this morning. This is Richmond. This is my home, Richmond, Virginia. This dude, I know him personally. It makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. This is like, how is this representing George Floyd? Because this is where all of this starts from. They say that, you know, the protests, the riots, everything that we have going on, guys, is supposed to be a representation of George Floyd, to be making a statement for George Floyd. Running out to get free stuff is not making a statement for George Floyd, bro. So I understand what you and Mr. Two Hands are telling me, that it will make them notice, it will affect them. But like I said, organize 300-400 people from each city around the nation and say, listen, we're going to stop working. You will also get the same effect, bro. You will also get their pockets damaged, because that damaged the economy. When they shut down, when they had the lockdown and people couldn't go to work, what happened? The economy started getting affected. This is why they're pushing so hard to do what? Reopen the economies. That started affecting their pockets without any cards being flipped, without anything being burned, without any of this stuff going on. It automatically started affecting their pockets because the lockdown was affecting the economy. So if we can all come into some type of unity and organize to stop working, to stop supporting their dollars, stop feeding their economy systems, shut down that without the rioting and the looting and the burning, that makes the same type of statement, bro. Because it still affects their pocket. And it makes a statement without them saying, okay, well, this justifies us bringing in martial law. Because they can't, what are they going to bring military in the streets for? People not coming in the streets, not going to work? There's no reason to bring military in. But people burning down police precincts, police cars, and busting into businesses, burning and toppling over buses, that's reason to bring in the National Guard. You understand? This is the thing that I'm saying, bro. I'm not advocating for big businesses. I can't stand what's going on with the elitists and the poison that's going on in the multiple economies around the world, bro. So I'm not advocating for that. I'm not defending the Waltons and Walmart. But that doesn't make a statement for George Floyd. That doesn't help the situation. But this is why these people claim they're doing it. But they're out there just to get free stuff. Did y'all hear how they was talking? Hey, I got $5 for that. I got $5 for a cash out. What the fuck I got to do with George Floyd or the Waltons' pockets? Because they're not thinking about none of that. They thinking about getting something for cheap, something for free. They're not thinking about the statements that you and Mr. Two Hands are knowledgeable about, that's conscious about, and that y'all thinking about. That's not why they're out there doing that. And if they're organizing to do that, then they will have sense enough to attack the right places, because that can be done, but you have to attack the right places. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not necessarily there. I'm not at the riot, so I don't understand their motives. But I think the people who are originally starting to loot and things like that kind of understood that they are not giving back to anybody and they're taking their stuff. So, maybe that's a repercussion of it, people with those intentions. But I think that looting is something that did occur because of those intentions.
I'm a private business owner, okay? And I don't sell merchandise. Services is what my business sells. I'm a service provider. But say just my business was merchandise. The fucking government don't own my business. So busting in my business, looting my business, you ain't making no statement to the government. You're making me poor. You're making me socialistically poor. That's what you're doing. Attacking my business is not making that statement to the government, bro. Munky Kung Fu says the media, government will use the images of looting and violence to discredit the true intentions of the protest. 100% facts, Munky Kung Fu.
Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about. They will take this. And see, it's the propaganda of the media. This is what I was speaking on earlier. It's the propaganda of the media. We have to understand something. The stories that they are presenting to us now, the George Floyd story, and all of the footage could have been in the back. It didn't have to be. There is somebody to say, hey, let's air this story. Let's put this all over the media on every network all around the nation. So there's a reason they're putting certain stories out. And they're putting those stories out to get the crowd, to excite the crowd, to make them angry. And then when the crowd reacts like this right here, it leads to what Munky Kung Fu is talking about. They will use this the same way they use their propaganda to incite the crowd. They will use this to justify themselves having to control the crowd. But like I said, if we all came in unity, like we can come in unity to rob and steal and loot, if we all came in unity to shut down, to stop going to work, it affects the same pockets, bro. It affects the same pockets, but it does not give the justification. It doesn't give the media news reports to discredit the intentions, because the intentions will be clear. It doesn't give them the power to institute martial law. And like I said, I understand that something needs to be said and things need to be done. But do I want to condone or give validation to the things that's being done that could possibly bring my kids closer to martial law very soon? No, because there is other ways. That shit that I just came up with, that hasn't been tried, talked about. Okay, I get it. Like, you can't always do the Dr. King thing and we shall overcome and walk and hold hands. I get that. I understand that. But when have we seen the rich be toppled by strikes? We've seen it in baseball. We've seen it in the unions across America. When you stop working, they respond. Have not we seen this, guys? That's organization. Stop working.
I do agree with you on that point. There has to be some type of organization on this. There has to be some type of organization on these protests. Because if you have a bunch of different people doing completely different stuff, one certain type of people are doing boycotts, one type of people are doing peaceful protests, the others are doing riots, the others are cameramen, they're not going to respect them because they're looking for completely different ways to get answers.
And you're not going to see the peaceful protests. You're not going to see the union of people that just decided to stop working plastered all over the news and the media. You're not going to see any of those things. This is what you're going to see. So while all of those different things are happening, and how I do agree with you, this is what you're going to see. This is what they're going to put all over the media. They're not going to post all over the media all of these people doing things the civil way, acting peacefully. They're not going to post all over the media the cops that speak well, that's really here to protect the public. They're not going to put that on every news channel across America. This is the stuff that they're going to put across the news channels in America to incite you in a certain way, to get you to react in a certain way, and to get people to believe, hey, it's okay if people go do that. And then it gives them pure validation and everything they need to institute martial law and snatch every fucking constitutional right that you have right away. Because once martial law is initiated, the Constitution is nullified. And to me, again, I will keep saying, we need to make a statement, but this shit here, that ain't the statement we need to make, bro. And that shit doesn't do a goddamn thing for what happened to George Floyd. Not in my opinion.
I did see something on Twitter where somebody said that there should be a day where we don't buy anything. We don't spend money on anything. We don't cut the lights on. We don't turn on the water.
What are you talking about, bro?
And we show the effects of what ignoring the economy can do.
Not gonna happen.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. And people are so quick to say not going to happen, but then they're quick to justify or validate people running out to get free stuff. No, I understand why they're doing that. No. You can understand why they're doing that, but you can't understand why they don't want to sit down and actually work on a plan like what Boone says is not going to happen. Bro, we need to work on shit like this. We need to, the voice needs to start somewhere. We can sit around and keep saying that shit ain't gonna happen. That's not realistic. This not is the third. But it seemed like I'm the minority here with this voice saying, hey, let's talk to our people. Let's talk to our family. Tell them we need to do this. We need to do that and not do this shit here. But I'm the minority here. When the majority comes that we need to unify families, black families, Mexican families, white families, we need to unify and shut down. When that is the minority voice, then this shit doesn't happen. People don't get killed. But what y'all saying, that statement is still heard loud and clear and very effective. And that's a fact, bro.
Well, my stand on it is this. What would you think white America would do if it was them? They wouldn't riot, of course. Of course, they wouldn't do all that shit. They have the resources, they have the connections and all that to where these type of things they're not going to do. All right, I'm not with rioting. I'm against that. But hurt people hurt people, and at the end of the day, this is a hurt group of people that are consistently being hurt over years. This is years of conditioning of being abused, treated poorly. Eventually, somebody's going to respect. It's like I have this motto: watch what you say and do to people because you don't know how they're going to respond. You don't know. You keep poking somebody, keep messing with somebody, and then when they respond a certain way, it's like, oh, you tripping. It's like, but how do you expect them to respond when a lot of us don't have the knowledge to obtain the certain resources that we would need to basically do these type of things where we need to make these connections? We are a hurt race of people. And this is the cause of people being oppressed, being hurt for years. Now, are there opportunists in this? Yes. There are people that say, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I'm finna loot some shit. There are a lot of people like that. But the people that are actually hurting, that don't know no other way, you can't be mad at them for that. But I understand the fact of all this rioting and all this stuff. But at the same time, I say this: what do you expect the people to do with the lack of resources that we have as people? And we all know if that would have been a black man with his knee on a white man's neck, that black man would have got fired, put in jail as soon as his knee came up. Everybody knows that.
That's probably true. I mean, like, who would deny that? In this country, that's probably true. My thing is just that, bro, despite that, man, despite that being true, bro, we can't, this is not gonna, what do you think is gonna come out of this? Bro, you tell me that. What do you think is gonna come out?
Nothing. I can tell you the straight God honest truth. Out of the rioting and all that, nothing is going to come out of it because we're going to be made as martyrs. They're going to use this to make an example of us. They're going to use this to say that we're violent, we're violent, and blah blah blah. And they're going to try to implement martial law based on these stances. Like, this is the beginning of the implementation of martial law with this COVID shit, in my opinion. That's what I think.
Let me get to
But
the chat, bro. Let me get
I
to
really
the chat real quick. I got a couple of super chats. Let me read those. So Steven Schneider says, I work at Walmart in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and just got a call from the store is closed. Now they are messing with my money and all the hardworking people. You understand what I'm saying? So that type of shit, because this is a big business now, right? And now Walmarts are closed, right? So when all of these people could have just stopped going to work or stopped, you know what I mean, operating the economy, now they've done what is happening anyway. They have closed the Walmarts. None of these people are working because here's the business on it. Well, we would rather shut down than to lose every fucking thing, right? See?
Yeah,
So,
that's smart. That's smart.
right.
You can't
So this
imagine
is what's going on. But this is the repercussions of the things that I'm talking about. So it's not going to, it's going to get a message out there. But right now, with Steven Schneider and everyone that works at his Walmarts and all the other Walmarts that decided to close down, hopefully the one here has closed down. But with all of that and all of these stores and the people that have decided to close down, this has put all of these people out of work, and we still may be closer to martial law. And people say, I condone that statement they made. That's just not going to work, bro. And that's my only point with that. Like,
right.
You know, if we try something as a people and we visually see that shit ain't working, okay, we need to try something new. So the same way people sit here up here and say that we have tried to walk, we have tried to be peaceful, we have tried to do this, that, and the third. We've tried rioting and looting, and that shit ain't worked either. Don't act like the Roger Denny and the Rodney King shit. Don't act like the Watts situation back in the 70s didn't happen. Don't act like this shit ain't happened either. Don't act like we haven't sat out there and rioted and torn up and fucked shit up. But now in 2020, y'all still complaining about the same shit. So don't fucking sit here and tell me, well, we've tried to be peaceful. We've tried this bullshit too. And in 2020, y'all still crying the same song. So don't tell me this shit works or make a statement. Because it ain't working, bro. And that's the point that I'm making. We need to try something different altogether because the kumbaya obviously didn't work, but the riot and the destruction is not working either. You can't feed that to me. Okay? G Boogie says the financial wealth has changed in this time era due to the elitists combining forces to change the demographics of the wealth. So by that being said, why can't we all as a collective do the same? Salute to everyone. God bless. Those are the type of solutions that I'm talking about, G Boogie. But people don't want to hear that because they immediately come back with, well, how are we going to do this when the white man got this locked down? Or how are we going to do that when the white man owned this business? It has to start somewhere, people. Understand what I'm telling you guys. No one says it's going to be easy.
We want to do it.
Start somewhere, though.
We want to do it, man. That's what I see. They want that when they make it every excuse to not try to find a peaceful solution and they keep just trying to find ways to be destructive. They want to do it. They want to burn shit. They want to loot. They want to rob. They want to do it. That's what they want to do. If you keep giving them different outlooks and different ways of an out to not do particular violent acts, and they still find ways to mentally and emotionally steer themselves into a violent act, that to me tells me that they want to do that shit. They want to do it. They feel the need to want to do it. They vengeful. They want revenge. They want to get even, you know, and that's not helping the situation. The LA riots, what did we get out of the LA riots? They got Rodney King and all that, but what did we get out of the LA riots, man? What did we get out of that? We didn't get anything. Anything. When Oscar Grant got killed, and I'm an Oakland native, I was in Oakland when they killed Oscar Grant. I was in Oakland when they rioted downtown, destroyed the whole downtown Oakland. I was in Oakland. I saw that. You know, and it's like, well, what now? After we destroy the shit, after we fuck up the city, now what? Now what?
Look,
we just gonna perpetuate more of the same behavior?
Right. Ring IQ, welcome to the show. I wanna Aob's just ask you a question, and I think that it's very valid, and I want to respond to this question immediately. Because this is something that I always talk against too. You know, like I hear people complain, and say, okay, well, you're knocking this down and you're knocking that down. Well, what is the solution? Like, what do you offer to the plate as a solution? And so AOB says, D, give us your solution. So I will speak on that for you, brother. And I will say this, AOB. I don't think that there is easy overall solution to this mess that has been created over hundreds of years, okay? But what I'm saying is this, and the whole reason I put this live up is, as people, we gather, bro. Okay, we gather as people. That's what societies are about, cities are about, communities are about. We gather as people. My solution, and as I started off saying, is to start somewhere. This is the start of the solution. We need to start having discussions like this with our peers, our friends, our family members. And we need to start telling them there are ways to get at them financially, okay, without this. And the more people that start to do that, the more units of people, city by city, town by town, the more people that start to do that instead of this right here, you'll get the same statement out without people getting killed, without people getting locked up, and without our kids having to live through martial law. So we have to start there. That's my solution. It has to start somewhere. I can't offer you a solution to fix
Look,
what has been dead for over 500 years. But we have to start somewhere. And starting here, that shit ain't gonna work, bro.
D, I just want to get this out there. This is really what this is this is the nature of the problem, right? You try to do things through the proper channels, and you see that the deck is stacked against you. You see what I'm saying? Because this could have been quelled if those officers would have been arrested on the spot. But the problem is that we got used to it, and people got tired of getting used to it. That something happens, and ain't nothing gonna happen to them. At minimum, they'll get fired. But that's not enough, dog. That was murder in cold blood. That's what that was, as a cold blood murder. Yeah. So people see that, and they know how it's gonna go off top. They know how it's gonna go, and they don't want to deal with that again. And the thought of that makes them belligerent. It makes people belligerent. Like, yo, like we already see what's gonna happen with this, and something just happened not but 2 weeks ago. Another incident I remember hearing about. It wasn't police brutality, but it was racially motivated. A kid was chased down. I believe he was lynched. So you got all these. You got all these things happening in proximity of each other, and now it's normalized because now it's just another case. Like I can name 10 cases off the top of my head, spanning all the way back to the 90s. That should not be the case, but it is. So when people see that, they feel like, you know what? Society is failing its own citizens. So that society must be torn down, and a new society must be built up. You got to rebuild, you got to destroy to rebuild. Because this is, I'm telling you right now, as far as trying to go through the proper channels and peaceful protesting. Look at Colin. Colin tried it, right? Colin tried it. And the very officials in the government.
I spoke about him before you got on here, but go ahead, drop it. I was just talking about that. Go ahead.
Colin tried to do it through the proper, and he wasn't hurting nobody. Wasn't no businesses looted.
Good example.
Was happening. Nobody was getting hurt. Nobody was getting beat up. Nothing. But the president of the United States himself, the man in the highest office in this country, condemned him for exercising his right as an American. And he's very cavalier about it. Very cavalier. So when it gets to the point to where the officials themselves are so laxed doing something like that, okay, clearly there are no proper channels. We're playing a game that's rigged. The deck is stacked against the people. It's not, and I'm not even gonna, because to me, the only language they speak is green. That's the only color. That's the only color they see, dog.
That's it, bro.
Green.
That's it. It's not about black, white, Chinese, Islamic. It doesn't matter. It's green, bro. And the most effective plan. I don't give a fuck what the plan is. The most effective plan is to tap those pockets at whatever rate, however you can get it done. That's how you get them to notice. Violence, man. Violence ain't gonna really help, but so much. Violence begot violence, and the facts are, they have the bigger weapons. I mean, let's be serious.
I gotta disagree with you there, D. I gotta disagree with you. Look, remember what happened in France when the aristocrats were executed because they were looking down on the peasants and starving them. Violence is necessary as much as, and it's very convenient for me to say that from my living room, but it is the truth. It's a universal truth. Violence does beget violence, but at times violence is necessary because what they're doing is violence. They are the catalysts because they have the authority to use violence against American citizens, and they do so with impunity in excessive force. And the truth is that the people outnumber the police department.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
This is the thing. Okay. And this is the thing, bro. With this one, we have to agree. I would respectfully agree to disagree because at no level do I believe that violence is necessary at any time. And that's another story. But, well, go ahead, Boone. I'm going to let you go ahead. You was about to say something. Go ahead. I don't know what. But I will say this.
I don't feel like, I mean, it's gonna sound weird coming from a guy like me. I don't feel like violence is the answer in all situations. But like I said earlier, I agree with what Ring IQ is saying. Is just like, how long do you expect any indigenous group to continuously take that type of scrutiny and abuse and murder? We're getting murdered by the people that's supposed to be protecting us. And it's not the fact that it's happening, but it's happening on camera in front of God and everybody. And these police officers are getting away with it. There's no way that anybody on this panel could shoot and kill anybody, and it's on camera, and we walk away from it unscathed, or we just lose our job and go somewhere else and do the same fuckery somewhere else. So when you see the injustice of that over and over, I was going to touch on that too, what Ring IQ said, but he already got it. We already did the peaceful protest. We took the knee. We said we ain't trying to have no fun. We all want peace and love. We just going to take a knee for our people, blah, blah, blah. We did that. And you know what our country said to us? Fuck y'all. Oh, well, yeah, just take a knee. We're going to take Kaepernick out. We're going to blackball him from the league, because he's standing up for a right cause. So we're going to blackball him. So we're getting blackballed for peaceful protests. We can't speak up in a positive way about any of this stuff without getting muted by the media. So what else do we have to be heard? What else can we do to be heard if that's what's happening to us? It's not happening to white America. And like I said to you before,
I want to add the Boone statement. I want to add the Boone statement that it's like a supervisor and an entry-level employee, right? The amount of responsibility that a supervisor, for example, would have is greater than that of an employee. So you have civil servants that are given the right to carry a firearm and enforce the law. And you have civil servants misappropriating that responsibility. And 9 times out of 10, when they go to the court, they're going to take the officer's word over anybody else. Plenty of times when them beat cops is walking down the street in New York City, they'll go as far as throwing a nickel bag at your feet just to have something to incriminate you for. Just for that. They can lie on the police report and it's going to be your word against theirs. There's too much. The balance of power is too much in their favor. So much so that this has actually become normalized. That like, it's not uncommon for you to hear on the news that a regular citizen was executed by a civil servant in broad daylight. Everybody watching it, everybody recording it. At that point, it's clear that there are no proper channels to go to. And you have to reciprocate the force that is being used against you because there are more people than there are police officers. That's the reality of it. They have been given the opportunity to check themselves. They have internal affairs, but internal affairs must not be doing a good enough job when you got these kind of cops walking down the street. That man shouldn't have a job. He shouldn't be allowed to have a firearm if those are the kind of impulses that he has. You can't sit on a man's neck for that amount of time and you don't know what you're doing. You can't, like, it's no way, dog. And the fact that you've been an officer for as long as you've been an officer and people have put in complaints about you, this shows that the system is broken, And you can't rely on a broken system to fix itself, because that's already been tried. The only other measurable response to that kind of physical
And
violence.
he wasn't no.
Go ahead, Boom. Go ahead, Boom.
I mean, he had his knee on him with his hand in his pocket. Dude wasn't a threat to him or nothing. You know, wasn't resisting. None of that. It's no reason for that. You know what I mean? Just the other day, to touch on what Ringo keeps saying, also, the guy that got killed in Georgia for fucking jogging. He got killed for jogging. He got on jogging shorts, tank top. There, you can tell ain't not a weapon on him, a razor, nothing. And they ran that dude down, killed him. Why? For what? For who? You know, it makes no sense. I'm saying that this has become our new normal. We shouldn't feel like this is normal.
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't feel like that.
Not in 2020.
Why do we feel like? Why do we feel like the police? Why do I have to feel like I can't go run because I'm worried about the police shooting me? Why should I have to feel like that? I love to go run. I'm a track star. But I'm afraid to go run in fucking Fairfield, California, because I'm worried about the fucking police rolling up on me, mistaken identity, or just wanting to fuck with me because they ain't got shit better to do. And because I know my rights and they don't give a fuck about none of that, they fuck around, murk me, kill me. Now y'all got the boom man dead and shit. Come on, bro.
Hey, check this out. Y'all, check this out. Everybody check this out. I know y'all can make sure y'all can hear that, right?
You know, as a police officer, I'm compelled to make this video. I've been in law enforcement for 10 years, and I'm speaking to my peers, other fellow officers, people in any kind of law enforcement position. I've seen
y'all can hear that, right?
Nationwide and tyrannical orders against the people, and I'm hoping it's the minority of officers, but I'm not sure anymore, because every time I turn on the television, every time I look to the internet, I'm seeing people arrested or cited for going to church, for traveling on the roadways, for going surfing, opening their businesses, going to the park with their families, or doing nails out of their own house, using their own house as a place of business, and having undercover agents go there and arrest them and charge them with what? With a crime? I don't know what crime people are committing by doing nails in their own house, but we're seeing this more and more and more, and we need to start looking at ourselves as officers and thinking, is what I'm doing right? Now, I want to remind you that regardless of where you stand on the coronavirus, we don't have the authority to do those things to people just because a mayor or a governor tells you otherwise. I don't care if it's your sergeant or your chief of police. We don't get to violate people's constitutional rights because somebody in our chain of command tells us otherwise. It's not how this country works. Those are de facto arrests. You know, we're violating people's rights and taking money from them, or even worse, arresting them and depriving them of their freedom when they are exercising their constitutional rights. So let's talk about that. Let's read something right here off of the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. Among these, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hey, and just to let y'all know, bro, I'm letting this rock for a second, because this dude say some deep shit, bro. I want everybody to listen to this.
He is saying some truthful stuff, people.
Among men, deriving their power from the consent of the governed, meaning our power and any government official's power is derived from the people. Okay, we don't hold power over our citizens. It's contradictory to everything that our country stands for. And this is what I'm seeing. First Amendment rights, telling people they can't go to church, freedom of religion. Okay, telling people they can't protest, freedom of assembly. Fourth Amendment violations, illegal traffic stops to check for papers. What are you, the Gestapo? Is this 1930s Nazi Germany? You don't get to stop people unless you have reasonable suspicion or probable cause that they have committed a crime. And I know people that have personally been stopped saying, we want to see papers showing that you're essential.
This is a cop saying
that
that
is
shit,
not how our job works. Okay? What really has been pissing me off lately is the fact that these officers that are going out here and enforcing these tyrannical orders, what they're doing is they're making my job and my safety, or they're putting my job and my safety at risk. Because what you're doing is you're widening the gap between public trust and law enforcement officers. And what that's going to do is it's going to, I mean, look at what's happened to law enforcement in the last 10 years. Less and less public trust, and more often than not, that is a result of isolated incidents that get blown out of proportion. They're not isolated anymore. They're happening every single day.
fucking day, bro.
And the thing that I want you guys to realize is that our power that we hold as law enforcement officers is nothing more than a facade. It's a badge and a gun. And people, you don't realize, if you haven't lived in anarchy, if you haven't seen combat, things can be stripped from people in a heartbeat.
Amen.
I'm afraid that these actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. the American people, okay? They are going to be put in a position where they won't have their rights trampled anymore. And us as law enforcement officers, we'll have our ability to enforce the law stripped from us in about 10 minutes, okay? I think what is going to happen if this continues is we're going to see bloodshed in the streets, okay? I don't want to see bloodshed in the streets on either side of this coin. I don't want to see fellow officers get injured or killed, and I certainly don't want to see citizens get injured or killed. And I promise you, most of you out there doing these tyrannical acts against our citizens, you're not ready for combat. You're not mentally or physically ready for combat in the first place. I promise you, you don't want to go through that, and I hope I never have to go through that again.
Amen.
You know, you don't get to just say, well, I'm doing this because I was told to do so, or I'm following orders, or
I'm gonna touch on that. I saw an interview with Michael Jai White. I'm gonna touch on that.
up and say, no, that's not me. That's not what I signed up for, and that's going against my oath. And if that costs you your job, so be it. At least you'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror at night. I've already expressed.
Hey, guys on the panel, my bad, everybody in the chat. My daughter was in here making noise, and I put my computer on mute, not realizing that it muted them out some. So let me back it up so that they can get the sound, because they just told me, hey, you cut the sound out. I'm gonna back it up. I know where I put it on mute at because she started making noise. My bad, guys.
No, thank you, sir, for correcting that. I'm glad that everybody said something to let them hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. Started from all right, guys. There y'all go.
Is that our power that we hold as law enforcement officers is nothing more than a facade. It's a badge and a gun. And people, you don't realize, if you haven't lived in anarchy, if you haven't seen combat, things can be stripped from people in a heartbeat. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that these actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. to be put in a position where they won't have their rights trampled anymore. And us as law enforcement officers will have our ability to enforce the law stripped from us in about 10 minutes. Okay? I think what is going to happen if this continues is we're going to see bloodshed in the streets. Okay? I don't want to see bloodshed in the streets on either side of this coin. I don't want to see fellow officers get injured or killed, and I certainly don't want to see citizens get injured or killed. And I promise you, most of you out there doing these tyrannical acts against our citizens, you're not ready for combat. You're not mentally or physically ready for combat in the first place. I promise you, you don't want to go through that, and I hope I never have to go through that again. You don't get to just say, well, I'm doing this because I was told to do so, or I'm following orders, or I need to keep this job. Guess what? I need to keep this job more than anybody. I have 3 young children. I have 2 houses. Like, I have the same sob story that the rest of you guys have. But my personal choices and my living arrangements, no matter what they are, don't allow me to trample on people's rights. And I don't understand why that concept is so hard for people to understand. Listen, you need to stand up for what's right. You need to, if you're part of a department or an agency that is asking people, or asking their officers or their deputies to impose on people's rights and infringe on their freedoms, you need to step up and say, no, that's not me. That's not what I signed up for, and that's going against my oath. And if that costs you your job, so be it. At least you'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror at night. Express this to my department. And luckily for me, I have a department that I feel like my chain of command shares my view, but I don't care what department you're part of or what your chain of command thinks. You don't get to trample on people's liberty. And so, as a special operations veteran, I've fought on the streets of Iraq under the U.S. government's guise of freedom. And I'm telling you what, the American people are going to you are going to wake a sleeping giant, and they are going to fight 10 times harder for their freedom on their soil than anything you've ever seen before. And if that's something you're willing to face, then keep trampling on people's rights. But I promise you, the American spirit of defiance is going to rise again, and it's going to be a big problem for our country. So I'll leave you with this. Something that I learned as an E-nothing in the Army. No matter what situation you're put in, if you look inside yourself and ask yourself one question, am I doing the right thing? You ask yourself that, you know the answer.
Amen.
Money or no order or law or anything should be able to make you go against doing the right thing. Imploring officers to look inside themselves and ask themselves, is this what I want to be doing to my citizens? And I think the answer is clear. And if we all stand up together, guess what? It will be a non-issue, no factor, because people in law enforcement will be united like we should be.
Bro, you guys know,
as a police officer,
this guy, they put him on administrative leave. They took his money from him and all of that for saying this type of stuff. You understand? And look, I let that whole video play through, guys, because this is no charge to anybody out there. But I have said this before. I have K Harvey in the building, speaking mind sports talk, speaking truth on truth. I appreciate you, bro. I have family member that is a police officer, and I hear a lot of people when these excitements come around, the George Floyd situation, the public almost turns to us against them. And it's like, because those motherfucking police, this, that, and the third. When those police officers back when, you remember in New York, when people run, the guys ran up and just shot the police dead in the car. And I heard people say, that's what those motherfuckers get. And I thought about my cousin. You think about a guy like this one that we just saw here. You know, it's actually police out there that don't fuck with the shit that's going on with what these other police officers are doing. So when we charge at the whole police force, I think of my cousins. I think of my cousin. I think cats like this police officer here, bro, that was actually putting the right message out. That was actually telling the officers the right thing. They actually served the country and fought in the wars for the freedoms that we're not really getting right now. I think of cops like that. And when we say we need to show them motherfuckers, do y'all need to show my cousin? Do y'all need to show cops like this? That's the problem that I have with statements like that.
I wanna touch on that. I want to piggyback off of that because it's like, one, this is because I'm not advocating for it. You understand? I'm not, because just like you said, it's good people and bad people that are part of every single group that is a group. There's good cops, there's bad cops, there's good people, there's bad people, and that's always the dynamic. The issue is when the people do not correct themselves for their own shortcomings, the same way that if I don't correct myself for my own shortcomings, eventually I'm gonna pay a consequence. Eventually I'm gonna pay a consequence. So for a long time, there's been the blue wall, which we all know about, the blue wall of silence, the solidarity, cops looking out for cops, even when the cops ain't right. And that created a problem. That's what creates a problem. That if you know something ain't right, you got to point it out, because if you point it out, it means more than if I point it out. Correct the system from within. And that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. So as a result of that not happening enough, a lot of people felt lax, that they could do whatever they want and treat people however they want. And that sends out the wrong message to the people, because the people going to look at that as like, yo, is it us versus them? Because it looks that way. It certainly looks that way. And and that might not be the case. You understand? There might be cops out there that don't got nothing to do with that. They do not have nothing to do with all that brutality and none of that that's going on. But if those cops don't say something, which is what I see different here, that for the first time, 37 years I've been alive, for the first time I've ever seen police officers standing with the protesters. In certain states, there are police officers marching with the protesters. I've never seen that before. With Amadou Diallo, with Abner Louima, when he was sodomized, with the Rodney King beatings, with the whole thing that happened with Sandra Bland and Freddie Gray and Mike Brown. I never saw that before. For the very first time, I've seen police officers marching with the protesters, and you gotta pick a side. Like, yo, are you in favor of police brutality or are you against it? Because if you against it, you need to be on this side.
And I think that's right there is what also will stop the violence. If any of these officers say, you know what, man, these people right. And if I could stand with these people, and me standing with these people, holding this badge and this gun, that's going to stop these people from rioting if I'm standing with them again, and I'm with their, and I'm on what they own, but I'm not with this rioting shit, plus I'm a cop. It makes perfect sense. And it's weird that we say the fact that the police are not telling on the other police, but they want us to tell on each other. So
yeah. Hey, real quick, Munky Kung Fu, appreciate you, my man. Really do appreciate you for the super chat. Munky Kung Fu said, D, thank you for having the conversation. Thanks to those on the panel and the chat with open minds for sharing your perspective. I, for one, am listening intently. We appreciate you, Munky Kung Fu. I appreciate that super chat too. Yeah, man. Go ahead. Who was that getting ready to say something?
G Boogie.
From G Boogie, and we got Raider in the building. We got G Boogie. We got Mob in the building. I just wanted you guys to kind of share your thoughts too. I don't want to leave you guys out of the conversation because Ring IQ and DT3 and I, we could talk all day and night, Jack.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Munky Kung Fu, you are my brethren.
Yeah, Munky Kung Fu is a great dude, bro.
All of y'all guys, man, we all have to thank right now D. Jefferson, and thanks for mentioning that, because he's putting in a platform that we all can elaborate and speak our minds about this situation, and find a remedy of this situation. Like that police officer said, you know, people that haven't been in a war. I've been in a war since I was in the concrete jungles of New York, and then I also joined the military. And you know, I don't want to talk about what I'm doing now, but I'm still in that role. So I look at it like this: people not ready for that. What he said, people not ready for that, bro. You know, and like my brother up top, I don't see
BT3.
Yeah, him, my brother on top. You know, you're right that people can't keep getting stomped on. And so did Ring IQ said that. But if we could come together right now, just how we doing right now, and put it our minds together, you know how strong we are? It's just like what that cop said. When I was in the military and I had to take orders and I knew that the orders was wrong and some shit was fucked up, I'm gonna find out somewhere else, because I ain't put my dudes in no fucking ass shit because some motherfucker up in a damn cushy ass office is fucking giving us orders. So we as people gotta come together and understand that there's motherfuckers out there too that don't give a shit, and they just on their own means of looting and shit like that. They don't give a fuck of what really happened. We gotta put this,
we need more leaders.
Perspective. We gotta put this shit in perspective. I love the shit that you brothers are on this panel. Yo, I got love for all of y'all. I put my life on the line for all of y'all. Believe it or not.
We need more leaders.
We just need to continue this platform and like this. And yo, D, man, yo, you my dude.
Always, G Boogie. You know how we do, dog. Always, fam. Always. But and I want to thank guys like G Boogie, man. My uncles. I got brothers, like they serve for us, bro. All of the things that we take for granted, you know, in this country, guys like that serve for us to have these rights that we sitting here discussing. And when they go out there and they fight in real wars, and then they come back and they see this foolery, it hits them in a different way than it hits the, because again, we take things for granted because we here and we grew up and we enjoy the privileges of this country. But they actually had to go out there and fight so that we could keep these privileges. There's a lot of countries out there that don't have these privileges. We take them for advantage. So shout out to you, G Boogie, and everybody else in the military that actually went out there and fought. Regardless of what the government does, those guys went out there and they fought for those reasons for us. G Boogie, that cop that just spoke, they fought for those reasons for us, regardless of what the government plans are and what they're doing, their crookedness. That's not why these guys went out there and served. So thank you guys, bro. Dead ass. Thank you guys, G Boogie. Dev Rod, he said, when the founding fathers became violent and shot the British soldiers in the face for increasing tax, that's okay. But when we're not peaceful, we're evil. You know, that's a powerful statement, bro. And I will say this as well, Dev Rod, about that statement. That's why I said earlier that nobody can convince me that violence is the key, bro. Because, you know, you'll get a lot of black people, my people, that will read a statement like this and they would get offended. Because I'll read the statement again, and then I'll break this down and explain it. He said, when the founding fathers became violent and shot the British soldiers in the face for increasing the tax, that's okay. But when we're not peaceful, we're evil. Now, when we look at that, a lot of especially black historians about black history and the things that happen with our people, the first thing that they would say to a statement like that is, so the fuck what? Good. The white man should have shot the white man in the face. But at the end of the day, this is the type of violence that I'm talking about. And violence begots violence, bro. It only brings back more violence. Now,
But I got
one of those historians may say, well, the white man shot the white man. But nowadays in 2020, what is the complaint? It's the officers, the white officers against the unarmed black man. And so from way back then still, we have somebody shooting somebody. Go ahead, bro.
So, as you say, violence is not the answer in a sense, but if we're not the ones initiating the violence, then in a sense, it's self-defense. We're not the ones initiating the violence. It's self-defense.
I want to add this. I just want to add this.
Look, right? Who's initiating that violence that I just put on the screen, bro?
I want to add this to it, right? You know how a virus works, right?
You know what I mean?
You know how a virus works, right, D? Virus gets into your body, and your body got to respond to it to protect itself, right? That's essentially what goes on. That's why your body heats up. You get a fever. You get hot. It's to kill off that virus. That interaction in and of itself shows that there's a scientific precedence for violence. There's a catalyst, and there's a response to that catalyst. In that way, the ones who incite the violence, the ones who initiate it, are the ones who have the power and operate with impunity. They're creating a situation that introduces violence by being violent. So they're responded to violently. If they quell their own violence, violence won't be used against them. The problem is they keep being violent with other people, and that's creating people being violent with them. They got to correct themselves. Otherwise, they're not going to give people much of a choice.
That's a fact.
It's like you're not finna let nobody keep punching you in the face. You ain't finna just let somebody just keep sitting there hitting you in the face, and you ain't gonna do nothing. Nah, you're gonna defend yourself. You're gonna think about your kids. You're gonna defend yourself. You're gonna get violent to stop this person from harming you. You're not gonna let nobody keep punching you in the face. No. Nobody on this panel, hell, nobody in the chat is finna let somebody constantly just punch them in the face, stomp them out, and not do shit. Not grab something, nothing.
Can I say what Ring IQ was talking about? I look at it at this perspective, okay? Yeah, there's a virus come in, it comes into your system. And what happens? The conflict between that virus and the antibodies in your system as a collective of your body is going to attack that virus. So it's coming as a collective. Is one being coming in, is getting attacked by multiple beings. So as this platform that we're in right here, we can discuss this and understand and come up with a plan. And to you, my brother, I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. You know, if somebody attacked me, they got to know there's going to be repercussions when you attack me. Because I'm willing to die for my motherfucking life. Because I got people and families that I take care of. So that motherfucker should know, yo, there's repercussions. Whether you jump me or whatever, I'm telling you, I'm going to take somebody with this.
That's the point, right?
That's the violence they want to push on me. I'm going to push it back on them. And I'm willing to die for this shit.
I feel you, dog. Hey, let's get my man Mob Gun Rights in here. I want you to get in on this conversation, Gun Rights. You know, speak on this, fam.
I don't know where you went. I used to live in Minnesota, bruh. So I know really kind of firsthand what they feeling. My god brother, Steven Adams, him and his wife and his children, they still live out there. So I kind of know, and I was out there It's funny that this happened now and it's fucked up because I was out there in Minnesota when the police killed that dude in the car when he was in there with his baby mom and his kid. I was in Minnesota when that happened, and it was on the verge of being that then. And the fact that this happened, what it really is for them is like they've had enough. Like the police in Minnesota, they were different. You're not gonna see too many people that have the same color as I do as a police officer in Minnesota. That's just, you're just not gonna see that, bro. They got them, they got the state troopers, you know, they police force work in a different way. I would say in a sense kind of similar to New York police force. I feel like New York police force is probably like the shadiest ones of all the ones I've seen, because I've seen the police on TV, and they do shady shit on TV like for years, and no one says shit about New York police. But that's another story. I'll let people from New York speak on that. I ain't never been in New York. I just speak on what I seen on TV. But Minnesota police is really, they ain't no joke, and they really racist. They really will pull you. Like I can't drive. Like I can drive out here with my hoodie on, but in Minnesota, no, I can't do that. I'm gonna get pulled over every time.
I wanted to say that they created a problem. This is my view of it. They created a problem by turning the other cheek when they should have been disciplining their own officers. Instead, they egged them on to act with impunity, to do what they want, to have a license to kill. They created an environment that communicated to the people, it's us against them, and communicated to the officers, you got to get out of jail free card. You do what you want out there, because it's crazy. You know, you can't let them go out there thinking that, though, because you're going to create a revolution situation. That's what you're going to do. If you keep letting that message be conveyed, that it's us against them advertently or inadvertently, it's going to become that. And the people outnumber the officers at least 10-1, at least. You don't want that to happen, but it's going to come to that. It's going to come to that when it's going to come to that when you got too many officers getting away with too much.
Hey, gun rights. Back out and come back in. Just back out and come right back in. I'm gonna let you back in. All right. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that they could have nipped this problem in the bud a long time ago. They chose not to, and this is the consequence of that. Yeah, that's my view.
Hey, Dragon Progressive said you're right, and this ain't my first time there. Has been a long time history. Yeah, I appreciate you coming back, Dragon Progressive. But who was that? Raider, get in on this, bro. I want to hear what you got to say, dog. You've been kind of quiet over there.
Hey, what's up, my boy? How's it going, guys? Everybody on the panel.
Appreciate you coming.
All right, what's up, DT3? Hey, yeah, you guys know I live out here in LA, right? So, right now it doesn't look as bad as the '92 riots, because I was here in the '92 riots also. But yeah, it's not even close as it was in the '92 riots. And the media makes it look as bad. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of shit that's going on, but back in the '92 riots, there was almost 100 murders that happened in that riots. I don't think there's any murders yet, so it's not even close. Everybody will see. The thing about it is that man, working out a lot of the stories. Can you guys hear me or not?
Yeah, we could. You were breaking up a little bit.
You were probably on your cell phone moving around.
Damn, what happened, Mob? You was just in, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, Brady. You clear now. Go ahead, fam.
Oh, is that me?
No, you good. Go ahead. You good. You clear now.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so the Koreans owned a lot of the stores, right? So those fools they got pissed, and they started fucking since they're already in the bad neighborhoods, because the blacks were looting their own neighborhoods and destroying their own neighborhoods, right? So the Koreans were already strapped up, and they started defending and killing people. So from the difference between now and then is that the blacks, they got smart, dude.
Yeah. All right, there go Mob. Real quick, guys, let me let him in. But Dev Ross said, didn't the Black
Smart thing to do. You know, they're not destroying their own neighborhoods. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But the one thing that I want to get
Hey,
out
Rainer,
there
can you hear
is
me?
this.
Rainer,
What's up?
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold
Yeah, I
on.
can hear you.
Let me read this super chat from Dev Rod right quick. Dev Rod said, didn't the Black Panthers in the 60s have fast action response team? If someone was to stop cops, several armed men would come make sure nothing bad go down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
60s.
And Black
Yeah.
Panthers was on the corners with rifles sitting there, and the
They were-
police walked up to them and they recited all their rights, bro. Police couldn't do shit.
They were
That's why they
organized.
changed the gun law.
But
Yeah.
do you
Can you
understand?
hear me?
They did it for the community. The real Black Panther community did it for the Black community because they saw
Yeah.
the demographics. The police wasn't acting the way they were supposed to. So what they did as a collective of that community came together and used the Constitution to their advantage, which it was proper for you to use it because our forefathers are and getting back to what I think somebody wrote on there about back then when the our forefathers shot the British for taxation. Yo, you gotta understand, there were free Black men also in Boston and all that stuff, being there hand to hand with them, trying to get the Boston people out of here. Okay, the British at that time when they was being oppressed by the taxation of the Queen. Okay, you got to look at your history before you come out and spew something to somebody that may know more than you. And it's not that I'm trying to make you feel lower. It's just that you need to study past history because it always comes up. Is a pattern, and you got to follow and look into that pattern. And that's why this discussion between us is very important. Y'all have to understand this. This is very important because we all, as a collective, coming together and giving our inputs.
I wanna add this to it because I think it would make a world of difference. It would make a world of difference if the dividing line between the police departments of the United States, it would make a difference if that line was blurred. What does that mean? That means that the cops need to show, the cops that are against police brutality, they need to show that. And if the people see that, they're going to realize this is not my enemy. But
Yes.
the problem is that that line has been there for so long. People got hard feelings now. People that have experienced something in their life. Maybe they were stopped by a cop. Maybe they were mistreated by the cop. God forbid they was hurt by the cop. That's going on for so long that it seems like that line is clearly defined. There is us and there is them. So those individuals that are part of a police department, they need to show that, nah, I'm not with that bullshit. I don't do that and I'm not for it. So I'm going to let it be known that I'm not for it so that you realize I'm not your enemy.
Spit that truth. Spit that truth, my brother.
That's what needs to happen. And for, like I said, for the first time, I'm 37. For the first time, throughout all these different things that have happened over the years that I've been alive, right? For the very first time, I'm seeing police officers that are standing with protesters saying, no, I don't do that. I'm not for that. I'm with y'all. That's what needs. I know that it's a byproduct of violence, and I get that. But like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen. I've never seen that in 37 years of life. I've never
Can you hear me?
seen that.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
Munky Kung Fu says making sweeping judgments on entire groups of people based on negative actions of a few is dangerous and only increases the divide between them. Well said, Munky Kung Fu. Mob, what's up, bro? We can hear you now. I need you to get in, bro. What you got to say about all of this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you clear.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mob.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up with it? Look, man, I've been listening to all y'all talk, and I get it. I get it. What's going on? Listen, I'm in Vegas, right? And when I was on probation, and this is just to piggyback off of Ring and G. Hodges and D said, we got a program out here called Hope for Prisoners. It's by John Ponder. I don't know if y'all know who John but he was the one guy who robbed a bank, and he was on the line with Donald Trump, stating that he created a program called Hope for Prisoners. It's only in Vegas right now. I think that they was trying to get it out in the Midwest, but the program is basically do not become repeat offenders. And in this program, when you go there, they have sergeants from police departments, they have fire department, they have executives from different corporations to try to help these people out. And a lot of the times that I went over there, because I go to the meetings and shit, you feel me? I still go, even though I'm not on probation, just because it helped me out a lot. And a lot of the officers who come up there and they give their speeches, they tell you, they say, look, first of all, before I say anything, I want to get up here and I want to apologize for all of the police who either stripped you of your rights, either harassed you, you feel me? Because we not like that. And remind you, every time I go there, there's about 4 Metro police officers. And I know that these dudes is good dudes because one day I went up there and they followed a guy. He was just like looking, you know, like a regular brother walking up the street. You feel what I'm saying? So they followed him all the way until Hope for Prisoners, and they tried to arrest him. And John Ponder and the police officers who was on site came down there and said, look, y'all better let him go right now. Y'all not taking him. You feel me? And walked them back into the office and sat them down. And then they went out there and told the police officers, they was like, look, at whatever bullshit y'all on, y'all not about to do that here on this property. You feel what I'm saying? We protect these people. This is the police talking to other police officers like this. And they straight out said, I don't care if you go tell my sergeant. I don't care what the fuck you doing. You feel me? I'm here to protect these people, period. You feel me? These people got out of prison. They did their time. They trying to come to this program to try to either get a job or try to get some clarity on where they want to go in their life. You feel what I'm saying? As of this point. But remind you, 85% of the people who go through this program do not become repeat offenders in prison or in jail. You feel what I'm saying? So when y'all say that if people is doing something, people been trying to do something. You feel what I'm saying? This program been going on for fucking 10 years, nigga. So for 10 years, I've been seeing people trying to work with the police, trying to work with the people, trying to bridge that gap in between the both of us. Now, just like you showed a cop who is telling you that he's not for all of that. You feel what I'm saying? He's out here trying to actually protect the people. You do got some people in uniform. I got some family members that in uniform. My mom is a motherfucking used to be a correctional officer. Now she's a fucking a probation officer. So there is some good people out here. But what Ring IQ is talking about is just all the frustration. You feel what I'm saying? You got to remember, some of these people ain't never felt this emotion. They never felt it. Just like he said, you got white, you got cops, you got black people, you got Asians, you got all these people coming together. You feel what I'm saying? For this one man getting killed. That's a powerful statement. You feel what I'm saying? Now, how that they react, you cannot determine that, whether it's people breaking shit, whether it's people running around down the street, whether it's people fucking people up. You feel what I'm saying? People is angry. And like I said, 75 to 65% of these people have never, ever experienced anything like this ever before. They haven't experienced Oscar Grant. They haven't experienced Sean Penn killing. They haven't experienced the girl who got killed in my city who was just sleeping in her car and police came up and shot her to death. You feel what I'm saying? It don't excuse that them type of people right there who never experienced that. Now that they experiencing it, now they feeling the emotions. It's the same thing when the coronavirus started. The same motherfuckers who was on the front line talking about gun control was the same motherfuckers in line trying to buy a gun when the motherfucking pandemic hit. You feel me? So when the shit hit your front door, that's when you see how people is going to react. And a lot of these people, you never seen them react before because they've been sitting in their house, letting shit bypass. Bro, I can look on YouTube right now and there's 20 people that got killed last year on YouTube on camera by police. But now all of a sudden this one man get killed and everybody get up. You feel what I'm saying?
I think I want to add.
Hey, Mob, you want to know why everybody finally stood up? My opinion. Nah, my opinion, I don't think it's because he was black. I think it's because of the way he got killed. It doesn't matter if he would have been Chinese, Mexican. It doesn't matter the way that they killed him. Everybody that was.
Look at though, Raider. What's the difference between what's the difference between they killing that man like that, as opposed to them shooting a man who don't got a gun on him? As opposed to shooting a man in the back like Oscar Grant, who was on the floor with his hands tied behind his back. It's no different, bro. It's no different. I seen many
It's no-
killings like this. It might be new to most of these people.
So have I. You know, okay, and one thing I want to tell you guys too is not just blacks, Mexicans are getting killed too.
Yeah,
all the time.
I'm gonna say, I want to add
let me tell you this: almost half, 50% are of the prisoners in California, federal and state prisons, are Mexican or Hispanic. 50%.
I want to add this to it. Y'all heard about the girl that they broke up to a house? It was a case of mistaken identity. They go to this girl's house. They thinking they're going to somebody else's house. I believe it was Breonna Taylor. I believe it was her. They end up shooting her. She don't got nothing to do with what they was there for. Absolutely nothing. Murdered in cold blood. And that's normalcy now. You turn on your TV and this is what you hearing. And these things are all happening within a time frame of 5 years. All of this.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too much that's going on.
Or the girl that they shot with her son with her too. They shot the girl with her son with her too. She posted it. Like, look, son, they gonna come in here and try to shoot you. And exactly what she was telling her son, they came in there and they shot her and grazed her son. You feel me? So when you hear shit like that from normal people who didn't grow up in poverty, who didn't grow up in a broken home, when you see people like that who see stuff like that and then react, you know, bro, it's the emotions has crossed over that line that we have always drawn in the sand over the years that we've been living in America. And that's what I'm saying. Them people is now crossed the fuck over. And people is now like, fuck that. He might be black and I might be white, but he American citizen just like me. Fuck that. You feel me? You seen them people pull that dude from the police yesterday? They like y'all not about to arrest him. You feel me? That's what you call people fed up. And when people is fed up, bro, everybody don't know how to Musa, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody don't know how to Musa like Martin Lawrence. I mean,
but check this out too. You know, like the cops, they're a family, dude. They're a fucking gang. At least the ones out here in LA, they're a gang. Ever since like the Rampart scandal which is one of the most corrupt fucking things that happened. The LA Sheriff's Vikings, where they had matching tattoos for killing people. All this, a lot of people don't know about this shit. But the fucking cops, or at least out here in LA, they're a gang, dude. Those motherfuckers, they don't care if you're black, Mexican, whatever. They stick together no matter what. That's why that killing that happened right there with Floyd, you see, I don't know if you guys know, there was the other 3 cops that were kneeling on him too. Yep. It was just him. It was 3. Yep. Those guys stick together no matter. Those cops could have been, one of them could have been black. It could have been white. That it's a system. Those fools are a gang. They're together.
Hey, guys, let me read this comment right quick. I've been in the chat. I've been posting comments because so that everybody can see what everyone's talking about. But Owen Bridges just put a comment in there that kind of stood out to me. Owen Bridges says the media shows mostly cops killing blacks because they know to send a message and know they are easy to anger. I have to agree with that. See, this is how the media works. The African American community are definitely easy to anger. And the reason they're easy to anger is because of the years of suppression that they went through and that they went through in this country. They've gone through a lot. So it's easy to spark them. So yeah, they do. And this is what I was talking about earlier. The propaganda of the media, these things are being exposed for a purpose. They want, when I say that people shouldn't do the riots and shouldn't do the looting, this is what they want you to do. Because they want them to institute martial law, to take full control. So that statement, I just wanted to put that statement, good comment, Owen, appreciate you.
Can I piggyback off of that, D?
Hey, man, you're 100% right, D.
Hold on, Ray, let Ray go right quick. You go next. Go ahead.
I just want to say this before I drop off. I agree with what Owen is saying. What's being shown is deliberate because what they want to promote is division. What they're afraid of is that people are going to unify and realize we're not each other's enemy. So we don't, they'll show you that so that you'll look at somebody else a certain way. They'll show you that on purpose. They'll keep showing you that in repetition to promote division because they do not want everybody getting together and realizing, yo, we got more power than they do. There's more of us than there are of them. So they're going to keep showing you that shit. But you got to, use your brain, Use your brain. They put that there for a reason, dog. It's a television studio. They have editors editing footage to show you so that they can get a reaction because their game is getting the most hits, getting the most views. They don't care what they show you so long as it gets a lot of views. So you have to be mindful of what you see on a CNN or a Fox News or a WPIX, whatever channel they have in your region or your part of the country. You have to be mindful that what you're being shown is being shown to you specifically on purpose to promote division. That's what they want. A house divided cannot stand. They know that. That's why they want a house divided, so that people won't stand up against them.
Divide and conquer.
Well, let me just tell y'all this, bro. I was out there and there was a lot of people telling the people who was looting, bro, to get the fuck out of there. Don't be doing that shit. You feel me? I even saw 2 people get into a fight because one person was trying to bust a federal building downtown by Fremont Street. So trust and believe, bro, everybody ain't out there on that bullshit, just to let you know. And I'm speaking from experience, that I'm not watching TV, not listening to somebody call me, nigga, actually walking down there with thousands of people around me, watching the scene, looking what's going on, checking the police temperatures. You feel me? I was actually out there, and it's people out there trying to really, push the movement on, in a positive way. You just got a lot of youngsters, bro. Remind you that it's a lot of youngsters that's doing this breaking in shit. They broke in the Easy Pond last night on the strip, and it was like just 4 young dudes. You feel me? So it's not really the people that's really out there trying to spread the message and trying to, ask for change. It's the youngsters, you feel what I'm saying, that's looking for the opportunity because it's something going on over here. So the police is occupied over here. So you start seeing youngsters run over there on the other side of the street because it's not occupied over there. That's exactly what they doing. That's why they saying now that they want to start dressing up police officers like regular citizens so they can start walking amongst the crowd to try to identify these people that's just out there trying to loot. So don't think that motherfuckers is just out there just looting like that. It's mostly youngsters. It's niggas around like 17, 18 years old, no older than 21. You feel me?
Hey guys, I'm gonna let Raider, don't leave. I'm gonna let you back in. But everybody on the panel, I want to let Mark and Boxing Algarete, you guys let them get some. I want to hear what their thoughts are on this topic. I'm gonna back out, and somebody just left. I think
I'm
Raider.
gonna back out right now, D. I'm gonna back out right now. You gotta. I'm gonna give you a spot right now. It was good talking to you.
All right, I appreciate you all for coming on, Jay. Appreciate your input. All right, yeah, guys. So Ring backed out. Raider, you can come back if you want. Ring backed out, but Mark, I want to get you and Boxing Algarete's thoughts on this right quick. Mark, you can start off. Boxing Algarete, you go ahead and jump in after Mark, bro.
Yo, what's up to everyone in the panel, everybody in the chat. I hope everybody's okay. Yeah. First thing I want to say is like the whole idea of unite. Can y'all hear me? First of all, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Like the whole idea of people right now are heavily divided, and you're gonna find a lot of people being divided from within as well, from within what they think is an alloy form. One form of alloy form people may be thinking is people who are Antifa members disguising themselves as a part of everything. Like they're trying to help you, they're trying to support you. Don't trust them. Don't let them near you. I'm seeing Antifa members putting BLM all up over all different buildings. They're smashing windows more than anybody else. I've seen thousands of videos of people who are Antifa, and the way you can tell them apart is there's different scenes of them and these people they've been seen before in different videos with the Antifa flag. These same people. So a lot of people don't trust everybody around you in your protest. Not everybody's there for peace. Most of them are trying to divide it, blame it on you, and then you'll be in trouble. That's the first part. The second part is it's going to be very hard in a country like America to get complete unity. Very hard because the entire country is divided, and within every division, that division is divided, and within every divided division, there's more people being divided all the time. There's so many different points of views out there, and the idea of it is people are saying, well, we don't want to be controlled, but that's the problem. The more you say you don't want to be, the more you're controlled. Believe it or not. The more you try and separate from one thing or another thing, you're going to lead yourself into pretty much an endless loop of something that is uncontrollable. Where's the unity in something you can't control? You can't control something that's not unified. People need to come together and do things the right way. And when I say the right way, I like people protesting. I think it's good. Be careful of who you're letting in to your protests, because a lot of these people aren't there to help you. That's all I want to say on it, man.
Yeah,
Be careful.
I feel you, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate those words, Mark. Boxing Algarete, what's up with you, fam?
Good afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing today?
We all right, bro. How you doing?
Good, man. So I just don't know if you guys know, I actually live in Minnesota. I live in Minneapolis. So, this affects me, directly, and I'm going through all this right now. For instance,
You live by the north? You live by the north?
Yeah,
Where you live in the Minneapolis?
I live in Coon
north?
Rapids. Yeah, I live in Coon Rapids actually, but I work in St. Louis. I work in St. Louis Park.
What? That's a drive, dude. That's a long ass drive, bro.
I know, but the money's good, so.
Hello. I got you.
I work for BMO Harris Bank, and we get a lot of news and stuff, because banks are usually like up to date when it comes to this shit, because we're usually the first ones to get hit up. So we've been getting a lot of information on stuff like that. The thing I wanted to share with you guys and communicate is, okay, so I remember the first day that everything went down, that everybody was protesting, and they grabbed a few of the police cars and destroyed them and did a few things. And they left it at that. That's basically where it stopped the first day. Now, the second day, when CNN and all these different news outlets started making it such a big issue about the taxpayers' money and how these people are making it worse in situation, that's when the people here in Minnesota really got upset, because they kind of like looked at it like, oh, y'all making it about money. We ain't making it about money. We're trying to make a statement. So that's when they came out the next day and did what they did. So,
and also to piggyback on what you were saying too, bro, was I think and I don't know for a fact if it's happened in the same type of area twice, but the fact that it happened in like Minneapolis in that section, in that area twice within a 3, 4, 5 year span, because that they just they killed the dude in front of his baby mama and his daughter, and then they do this. It's like, and then they do that what you just said too, follow back with that. It's like, come on, man, you killed one dude, you know what I mean? Then you try to make a martyr out of his baby mama, then you kill another dude, and then you say it's about money. Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's where people really got offended, and that's when people really started doing some shit.
I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I was out there when the last incident happened.
So, me personally, like I was saying, I actually did a live when first things started calming down, just vent a little bit, but it's kind of like.
Damn.
What I was saying, like I personally, I have to work at the Conga, where's a Spanish nightclub, and he was a bouncer there, and he was like the coolest dude, you know what I'm saying? He would walk up to you, he would say what's up in Spanish, and he was a real cool dude. So, when we saw that and we found out it was him, it was heartbreaking, because we know he's a good dude, So the main thing that bothered me when I saw the video was the Asian cop. The fact that he did two, 3 different occasions, like, don't do drugs. This is what happens when you do drugs. Like, man, like, come on, bro. That's really not necessary. Like, why are you instigating the people? Like, I felt like he was instigating the people to do something by saying those comments. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know this man, and I know this man don't do drugs like that. He's a bouncer. Like, he was actually taking care of people. He worked alongside the cops. So, he knew how to conduct himself around cops. So it just doesn't make sense why they had to do this to this man and the way they did it too.
Think they knew who they was doing it to.
I think so. That's right now what everybody's thinking. I think they knew what they were doing it to. I think maybe George had said something or done something in the past that rubbed them the wrong way, and maybe they had it out for him. Maybe they were just waiting.
Well, the Asian cop only said that. The Asian cop only said that because the guy is married to his sister. So he was gonna have his back regardless. You feel me?
Yeah.
The lady who divorced him, that's the Asian cop's sister. You feel me? The one that was standing by him. He's married to his sister. So that's the reason why, you feel what I'm saying, that he was co-signing for the cop. But his sister turned around and filed for divorce. And when that happened, now the cops is trying to separate themselves from him because they don't want to be a part of the case. But all four of y'all need to be charged. Life. Period. You feel me? Noting that, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this 12-year shit. I don't want to hear this 20-year shit, nigga. I want to hear life, nigga. You feel me?
And also, this Asian dude, I don't know if you guys read up on him. He actually had a case a couple years ago where they actually had to settle out of court for, I think it was like $25,000, where he punched a black man in the face. And said, and it was basically for no reason. Like, he was the man and his girlfriend were walking down the park, and he would try to stop him for some reason or whatever. And then, like, when he threw him down on the ground, the police officer claims that he was trying to struggle, that he wasn't letting him handcuff him. So that's when he decided to punch him in the face multiple times. So obviously this man has issues. Also, the man that did it has got 18 counts, 18 strikes against him because people complaining on him. Like, why do we still have these people working for us? Why are we still paying tax dollars for these people to work for us? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And, I'm going to say this before I get on up out of here, but, it's funny how, regardless of the race, Mexican or black, whatnot, it's always somebody of color. And it's funny how we get, beat or we get killed and murdered for the smallest thing. But this little white kid can go into a black church, kill 9 innocent black people, and get a vest put on him and escorted to jail.
And water, too.
And we get murdered. You know what I mean? Like,
that. Let me say something too. Somebody got some feedback, but unbiased. Welcome to the panel, Mr. Two Hands, back on the panel. Now, Kat just put a comment up here. They're charging him.
I'm gonna back out and back in. Excuse me.
All right. Say they're charging him with manslaughter. A knee on the neck for about 10 minutes is not accidental. That shit is intentional. First degree all day. And this is where you're getting such an outcry from the public. This is why you're getting stuff like this happening, because the public doesn't want to hear manslaughter. The public doesn't want to hear the fact that these other 3 cops are still working and we're paying for it. The public doesn't want to hear that, because what the law says, if any one of us citizens, like if I'm just walking, say me and unbiased are walking down the street, and then somebody is walking through the alley and threatening me and unbiased, and I see unbiased go into the alley and beat the hell out of him, beat him to death. The police say that it's my responsibility to come tell the police that I saw him murder that guy, or else I could be arrested for accessory. But the other 3 cops can stand there and watch this man get murdered by another cop, but they're not held accountable for accessory. You understand what I'm saying? So we're required to come tell you guys that we seen a murder. We can't just say, you know what, it's not my business, I want to stay out. No, it's actually obstruction of justice, and we can go to jail and be charged with accessory because we didn't come say he murdered him, I seen it. But cops can just stand there, watch a man be murdered, and face no penalty at all. This is why.
Look, the people is going crazier, D, because the cop who killed Oscar Grant got a year in the day, and George Zimmerman got off. So this is why they heated. This is a lot of the conversations of what I'm hearing yesterday is because they heated, because they see this dude getting arrested. But now that they trying to dumb down the charges, they feel like they might even let him off. You feel what I'm saying? And this has happened before. So people it ain't over. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't over. Let that man off and see what happened. Let that man off and then see what happens.
Let's let Unbiased and
I
Two
just
Hands
want.
go into this conversation. Go ahead, Two Hands. I'm gonna let you and
All
Unbiased.
right. I just wanted to say this because beyond beyond the cops that that don't have anything to do with the social injustice or the injustice done to other African Americans, people of color, or other people that divide the poverty line that are in a similar situation. Because there's a saying by the beloved, very talented and intelligent Dick Gregory that goes, white isn't a color, it's an attitude. And if you don't have the money, you don't have the attitude. So basically what I'm saying is it don't even matter if it boils down to a rich or poor thing. Beyond that, I'm getting sidelined what I'm about to say. Okay. The rules of engagement have completely changed. Because I don't know if people remember this, but just last year, the biggest freaking trial of 2019 was Amber Geiger on the case of Botham Jean, where a police officer walks upstairs to an apartment, thinks that she's on her floor, opens this man's door, walks in, shoots him in cold blood while he has his back turned to her, while he's sitting on his couch and he's eating a bowl of ice cream. Now, my whole thing is, regardless of, you thinking it's your own floor, whatever, I don't see how you can get that mixed up. But basically, I'm fast forwarding to this. Now, when that whole trial went on, it was the trial of the freaking year. Now, she was the first cop that was convicted of murder. But this is the thing, when she was convicted of that murder, she only received 2 years, and the judge got off of the stand, walked down to her, gave her a hug, and gave her a Bible with some type of words that she can go in with her into jail. Now, my thing is this to the family of the victim. You're going to try to change the rules of engagement by saying, okay, now that we're convicting police, that we should be satisfied. You've only given this gentleman 2 years, but you only gave this person 2 years. Now, while I'm having this conversation with you, this girl's going to be coming home in 2021 for the murder of somebody else's son who was very talented, very well-traveled, very educated, and a pastor at the same time. You're going to be coming home in a year. This man's life has been taken, and all of the family has the PSD of you murdering their son. The family has the PSD of going through this charade. The family has the PSD of being the first scapegoat or so-called, living martyr in a sense, because they're basically saying, oh, we got the cop convicted, but we only gave him 2 years. So now for all of these people that are suffering of this injustice, for those who get murdered, for those who are slain in the streets, for those who cross that poverty line, for those families who aren't really cared for, that kids go missing on thousands, et cetera, basically saying you can convict a cop, but basically they're going to skate. So the PTSD, those that are fed up, it's going to fucking change to where it's not going to matter, those police who are trying to do the right thing or those who are doing the wrong thing. There's a movie that I just watched, it just came out last year, called Queen and Slim, to where this cop was racist, shot him, they went on a long-ass run, and basically they ended up getting killed, but this one kid ends up killing the police officer based on the injustice that happens to him time and time again. He was just frustrated and he was just angry. These are the frustrations of the people that speak up time and time again, to where the blue, it doesn't even matter if you're wearing that uniform, because it's just like this. There was a test that was run where they put people in uniform that weren't even necessarily police officers or in the military, to where they would see if they would follow orders just of the person in uniform. And over 60% of the individuals follow orders to those people that were in uniform, whether they were truly police officers or not. So basically what I'm saying is this: the suit in blue isn't going to matter. The fatigues aren't going to matter. The PTSD and the pain of the people who keep seeing people now getting murdered, they go to jail, they go to trial, and they don't get convicted, and they fucking walk. Now they're getting convicted, and they're only doing 2 years, and they're coming home to their families, and they're basically getting implemented back into society, and they still have those relationships with those people in government who are going to give them a job somewhere. They're going to have a great quality of life. That 2 years that they did in jail isn't going to mean shit, but that lifetime of pain from that mother who lost that son, who was murdered in cold blood and put on fucking a public stage to just be used, it's not going to matter. The blue suits and all that shit ain't going to matter. And the good cops, unfortunately, I hate to say this, the frustrations of the people that go through it, what you stand for isn't going to matter, because you're one of them, no matter what.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. The good cops is outnumbered. So I mean, if they want to make a change on a global level or on a nationwide level, they would have to strip themselves of their badge completely in order to separate themselves from that completely. But like I said, I know some good cops out here who trying, but it's not enough to make a difference. I could tell you that because they're outnumbered. I mean, you're
Right.
looking at about five good cops in a precinct of about 100 to 200 motherfuckers who either taking shit from the evidence room. And remind you, I got people in police who's in the police field in my family, and they told me this. Whether I didn't watch my cousin sit up there and tell me he didn't beat up a nigga from another hood because he stopped him and then took his pistol but didn't arrest him. You feel me? So it's cops doing all kind of shit, bro. But in the mix of all of this, you feel what I'm saying? It's gonna have to come to a point where it's like kind of like Mark said. Right now, with the position that we got as the people, we have the power to make the change, but you feel what I'm saying? We have to eliminate that control factor. You feel me? And the control factor is not going to work through voting. You feel what I'm saying? As you can see, they can alternate the numbers. You feel me? So it's not going to work through that. You feel me? It's going to take for everybody to come together to stop the shit. You feel me? Because like Ring was saying, we outnumber them. We outnumber them, bro. I seen them pushing the police back yesterday. I seen them pushing the police back.
So my whole thing is this.
Real quick, guys, real quick. I got a couple of comments. Y'all can speak on these comments too. First, I want to go to Matt. Matt says, if you charge him with first degree, and they're talking about the cop, if you charge him with first degree, he will walk free. The defense will have that trial wrapped up and over within 10 minutes. I want to say this, Mark. I cannot totally agree with that because here's the problem. The American system is pretty much flawed for sure, but people in general nowadays are sick and tired of this. They're sick and tired of these cops killing, and it's going to be a hard job for any defense team to get this cop off. Not only that, the media, the government, and everything else is going to be pushing the pencil for this motherfucker to be convicted. They're going to have to convict somebody, bro. So this motherfucker doesn't walk free. They need to charge him with first-degree murder. The reason they won't charge him with first-degree murder is because they know he will not walk free.
What does this say? What does this say to the society?
That's how I get on with
those when you give these guys paid leave. What does that say to the people right there? I'm sorry, but if I watch you with your knee at this man's neck, murder him in cold blood, and the look on his face while he was doing it is what really boils my blood. If I'm watching this and you get fucking paid leave, bro, once again, it goes back to the rules of engagement have changed. Like, you can't, you get convicted, you walk. You don't convict them and they walk. You know what I mean? Like, what does that say to us?
And look at two hands. What you just said right now is the reason why. I don't know if y'all remember the black guy who was out here and was in California shooting cops. He was shooting cops with that AK-47 is because he seen them cops in prison and they was unlawfully beating on inmates up in there, and he tried to take that shit to the board and they ended up firing his ass. So when his ass ended up getting fired, they ended up sending threats to him, talking about that, they was going to harm him and his family. So when he got that, that's the reason why he went out and he was killing them cops in California. It wasn't over none of that bullshit that they was talking about from that letter and all of that crazy shit, nigga. It was because, nigga, the police, his fellow officers was in the prison out there in Chino, California, and they was beating up on inmates unlawfully in cells. You feel what I'm saying? Handcuffing them and torturing them and shit. So that's the reason why he was killing motherfuckers. So don't get it fucked up, bro. Like I said, everybody got their turning point, bro. My turning point might be way more quicker than yours. You feel me? Your turning point might take a couple of more incidents in order for you to get the picture. It's called when reality slap you in the face.
Absolutely.
Sometimes
That's why go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, so that's why sometimes, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we talk about this all the time when we be having debates. Oh, niggas is getting emotional. Oh, niggas is they seem like they trying to fight online, or oh, the motherfuckers is doing this and do that. Is bro, everybody got a different emotion. Your tap and your emotion might not be with what the next man is. You feel me? He might reel in the jump 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. You feel what I'm saying? But that's based off of how he controlling his anger and his emotion. But some people don't see that emotion and that anger every day in order to control it. I grew up in an environment where I had to go through it. You feel me? So I know when I can turn it on, when I can turn it off. You feel me? I know when situations is going to get heated and when it's going to die down. You feel me? Just because I've been through it. But these people, these regular citizens that was out there yesterday in every city, a lot of them never been through it, bro. That's what y'all fail to realize.
Beyond
And when
all
you
of that, beyond all that, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Tuaz.
No, I was just gonna say, beyond all of that, how many individuals have sat and then watched, an individual shot and killed on TV time and time again? So that says one or two things about you. You know what I'm saying? You're either your level, you've gotten to the point to where you've been desensitized on a subconscious level to the point to where now you see murder so much to where you just like, oh, you're passive to fucking injustice, or you're getting to the point to where it's like the PTSD, or you feel the pain of the fucking victims, and you just like, yo, you're going to want to respond because it's just like, because at the end of the day, how do you define justice if you've never fucking seen it?
I'm gonna tell y'all rock with me a lot. You feel me?
Mom, hold on, right quick. Let him bias in, my nigga, because he was trying to get in. And
go ahead, I'm biased. My bad, bro.
Yeah, man. Listen, everything you guys have been saying is facts. You know what I'm saying? And here's one thing I wanted to say, man. And this is, coming from somebody who came to this country when he was like 13. When I first came over here, I always felt like something's fishy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like racism is used as a tool here because back home in my country, we learned world history. When I came to America, I learned that Black Americans were slaves, and it's like a doctrine. Like they show you, Black Americans as slaves, and like that's all they could be, kind of thing. And I always felt like that was weird. Another thing that I always felt was weird is how the Black crimes are always put on in the media, right? You hardly see white crimes in the media or Hispanic crimes in the media. You always see Black on Black crimes in the media. You don't see white on white crimes in the media or Hispanic on Hispanic crimes in the media. All of our mishaps are usually glorified while others aren't. I always thought that was really weird. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I say that to say that I feel like the elites use racism as a tool to separate and divide us. You know what I'm saying? And they use the media to do that. You know what I mean? A lot the gang culture was created by the government. If you do your history, you could see that a lot of things like the Ku Klux Klan is a Masonic organization that was created as well. If you do your research, you'll find that too. A lot of these things are used as tools to separate and divide us so they could conquer us. And Antifa is out there with the protesters burning cars, and then the protesters are the ones taking the blame for it. You know what I mean? So I say this to say that racism is definitely a part of it. You know what I mean? That thing, it needs to be talked about. But the root of all of this is the government and the elites that use the government. Because let's be real, like the elites, the government and the president, they're all puppets. You know what I mean? The top of them are people we don't even know their names, really. You know what I mean? So you got to take down the government in the first place to get to the root of the problem. And the police officers, they shouldn't get immunity, paid leave after killing a human. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. It really is, man. So I mean,
it's sickening, bro. And I want to Uncone says, I don't see cops running up in poor white people houses and gunning them down like they do black people. I'm good on the rich poor thing. This is the latest scene in 400, 500 running. Look, Uncone and I, we always go back and forth on this. First and foremost, Uncone, you've already admitted that you're not from here, from America, I mean. So you wouldn't see anything that goes on here. But I'm here to tell you that shit that you're talking about right there in this country, that's bullshit, my man. And I actually know cats that I was hustling with in the street, white, black, Mexican, it don't fucking matter, bro. And the shit that you say you don't see happen, oh, understand, it happens here in this country. Yes, the fuck they do run up in white people's houses. Yes, they fucking run up in Hispanic people's houses. Right here in this country, Icon. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people on the fucking panel can agree that that shit happens. Here's the thing. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Because a lot of people get lost in translation. When we're dealing with times that we're dealing with, we're up here, Ambaj, you just said it. I think somebody else said it earlier. The media is using racism. They're using racism to divide us, bro. Okay? So this is a known fact. I don't think any of us disagree with that they're using racism to divide us.
No, I agree to that, but hold on, D. I was going to say.
Let me finish my thought, bro. I gotta let me get this out. So if we understand that they're using racism to divide us, when you put statements up like that, well, I don't see these police officers running up in the white people houses, and it ain't fucking true, it's fucking working.
No, but and you're right? Because and also when cops do kill white Americans, they don't put it on TV.
They don't advertise that shit. That's what I'm trying to tell people like Ironcomb. This shit ain't blasted all over the media because it's a fucking agenda. It's like someone put in the chat earlier. They want to put the black guys getting killed by cops. They want to put the indiscretion because it's our people that feel like black cone. I'm sick and tired of this fucking oppression for this long. It's our people that they can incite easier because we've been dealing with this for so long. So they don't put the other discretions and transgressions that happen on the news. But don't fucking sit up here and tell me, well, I don't see them doing this and that, because it's happening to those other people, bro. That is at a low income level in this country, Icon.
Hey, Dave.
So you can be missed with the rich and poor shit, but you live what you live in your country, and we live what we live in this fucking country. And in this country, it is a rich and poor thing. And they're shitting on the poor people.
It is, hold on, but D, real quick, D, it is a rich and poor thing, but I don't think we should stray away from the fact it is a race thing as well.
I'm not straying away from that, but I hate when people disregard that all people are suffering and just try to put out into the front black people. When I understand,
when I bring up,
hold on, let me finish. When I understand the struggle that my people are going through, these are my people. I understand that struggle.
Okay, so when I'm
hold on, Mr. Two Hands. But what I'm not going to dismiss is because other people in my family are of other ethnic backgrounds. So I'm not going to fucking sit up here and dismiss the struggles that they're going through because black people want to put our struggles into the forefront. Like my Mexican family, like my Hispanic family, like my white family don't go through shit. And we supposed to fucking ignore that and kick that to the side because black people fucking struggle for hundreds of years. Like my people not going through that shit too. My other family members, right?
No, but D, black people are getting
segue real quick.
That's the thing that. Yeah, that's the thing that. Okay, go ahead, Two Hands.
That's why I brought up the statement that Dick Gregory made. It said white isn't a color, it's an attitude, and if you don't have the money, you don't have the attitude. So when I divide the poverty line in the conversation, this is what I'm saying. The upper echelon, the oligarchs, the 1%ers, those people in power, they're not going to give a fuck about the white people, the black people, the Mexicans, anybody that's below that poverty line. Everybody's going to get it. Everybody's going to suffer. Everybody's going to suffer. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if, you know what I mean, you white, black, or whatever. Yes, there is a racial divide as well. But I'm just saying that racial divide, you know what I mean, don't mean it really don't weigh no bearing on the poor white motherfucker because they gonna go through it too. When the shit hit the fan, the shit gonna hit the fan for them as well.
Hey, but two hands. Racism still has its role in the whole script, right? I mean, I think
absolutely. Yeah. That's all. I was just highlighting the fact that, you know, once you divide that poverty line, those who are in those situations, they suffer those same indifference. This is where I say they don't suffer it from. In the court system it's going to differentiate. But I'm just saying, when it comes to financially, when it comes to the world needs aid and shit hits the fan, they're gonna go through the same shit we're going through, black, white, or indifferent. But yes, racism does play a major part.
Yep.
Hey, hold on. Others don't get shot or killed by PD, but blacks are sitting on the high stat sheet. This is a fact, bro. But
yeah, that's why I said in court system is my bad.
Yeah, this is a fact. And this is the thing, like, I guess this is just a personal thing with me. Maybe this is just a personal thing with me. I don't, like, with a lot of our people, with a lot of black people, I'm not saying that the things that we go through should not be recognized. But when I talk about certain situations and I start talking about things that are affecting the world, when I talk about it with some of my people, I hear people make statements like, oh, well, black people have been going through that for years. And that kind of shit bothers me, bro, because I know that we've been going through this for years. Our people, because not us in generally, but our people have been going through that for years, right? But I can't say, oh, well, okay, that these people should be fucked up and go through shit because our people have been going through shit for hundreds of years. And that's the attitude that I get from a lot of black people when I talk about these situations. Like, well, oh, well, our people have been going. It's no, it's not, oh, well. It's really fucked up that our people went through this for this long. But it ain't no fucking, oh, well, that now the Somalians have to go through it, or now the Mexicans got to go through it, or now the Koreans got to go, or the Arabians. No, there ain't no fucking, oh, well. Nobody should.
I said this on your live. That we not the only ones who went in slavery. Y'all niggas need to go look at what Hitler did to them Jews. Y'all need to go look at what the military doing to them people in Burma. You feel what I'm saying? I can name you hella countries right now where they going through civil war, and they've been going through civil war even when we was going through slavery.
Look at what's going on in Syria right fucking now, bro. Like,
now, yeah.
Hollering, well, this, that, and the third is going on in this country. It's over there. These people,
like, just be thankful you can go get a black. Just be thankful you can go get some weed.
That's living over there. Cannot even go to school without
not even go to school.
Hit by fucking shrapnel and shit. Shrapnel, bro. Can't even go to school. Can't go get medical attention. They have to hide. This is happening now, guys. These are children and people that have been bombed by regimes. They have to hide in underground medical facilities because these regimes won't even allow them medical attention.
Or look at North Korea, right? How they're treated over there.
Yeah. North Korea too.
And we got black people over here crying about being oppressed, living in a fucking projects for free, getting free food.
But D, I think everything you just said is situational based. And since we're talking about America, hold on real quick. But since we're talking about America, right? I think, like, yes, it is a poor and it's a rich situation, of course. But when African Americans are set up to be poor, then that also becomes a race issue too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will say, like,
the system. I mean,
can I jump in on this? Can I jump in on this and just?
Yeah, go ahead, Smoke. Go ahead, Smoke.
So what I've seen is a couple different things. I've been listening to what people are saying for a few days now, and I hear that people are upset about police brutality. I hear that people are upset about, in general, minorities, the way cops treat minorities. I hear people being upset about the way specifically Black people are being treated by minorities. I hear about the way Black people have been treated by white people. And I hear about the rich and poor, the class warfare, right? That seems to be the all of what we're talking about is all the issues at play with this latest incident, right? So the police brutality, like, to me, is the easiest thing. right? When it comes to that fire, that image you have behind you, like how do you tamp down people destroying shit and being all pissed in the streets? It seems like the police brutality aspect of it is the easiest thing to do, because really all you're going to do is hear an apology and they're going to change the tactics, right? You won't hear any more of the like knee on the neck as a method of restraint, right? That'll be that. When it comes to like the criminal justice part of it, these guys probably, there's a good chance they could get off. But if history is our guide, it's a great chance that these guys could get off, right? But you could still change the guidelines of how you restrain people, and you can train some legislation so it doesn't happen, to other people again, that sort of thing. They'll isolate this incident and treat it like it's a one-off, right? When it comes to the minorities, the way that minorities are treated, actually, before I get to minorities, let's do the rich and poor, because I think that's really the hardest thing to deal with, that people don't actually want to address. Like the guy, ultimately, this dude was killed over $20, right? If the charging report is factual, the reason why this whole thing happened was the passing of a counterfeit $20 bill, right? So this guy's life isn't even worth $20, right? Like that. That's what it comes down to. All right, I don't even know if he spent the whole 20 or if he got changed. So whatever that purchase was, that's what that purchase cost that man.
It was a counterfeit. It was a counterfeit.
Right. 20. That's what they said. Right. They said it's They said it's counterfeit. Right. They said it was a counterfeit. That was funny money. I got it. But I don't know if they gave him his change or if they took the money or what happened that the cops had to come out. All I'm saying is this is over $20. They don't even know if the man knew the money was counterfeit. Right. Because the dude's dead. He can't tell the story.
Yeah. The owner said that.
The issue with that is like Black Americans are not even allowed to make it to the trial. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, we don't even get the chance to even be put on trial. Instead we get carried by 6. So I mean, that's the issue.
The owner said that he should have still been alive today.
Can I just finish it? All right, so let me piggyback on what you just said, the racism part, right? So getting back to the fire that you're talking about and how long this has been going on to us as the people in this country, right? And that's what a couple of weeks ago, everybody was in outrage over Devin Haney's comments, right? And I was like, you know what? This is just the angst that a community feels over this type of shit. And it's racism. Like, dude, like, see, when it happens to other people, when it feels like they're involved, this is what happens. They take to the street. But what I'm saying is there's already a feeling that happens to us all the time. Like you were saying, everybody gets the idea that this is happening to us. If you fix police brutality, right, it's still it doesn't mean that Black men is going to stop catching hell in America, right? It'll just change the guidelines, right? So that's kind of my issue when it comes to, hey, you know what, before we start telling Black people what to think, how to speak, and how to feel about racism, maybe we should just listen to what the hell is going on so this type of stuff doesn't happen, right? Instead of marginalizing what the feeling is, let's discuss it and let's get it out there. Where does this stuff come from?
I told you, and that's why I brought up John Ponder, because we have those different type of conversations in those meetings. We sit and we have those type of conversations. But it's not in every state. You feel me? But I get where you're saying. But the only thing that I got against that about what you said is about the changing the rule about putting your knee. Well, right now the chokehold in only 18 states has been banned from police precincts. Only 18 states, and we got 50 something though. So out of 50 states, only 18 states have illegalized banned the chokehold. That every fucking state should have banned the chokehold. So I don't think that they're gonna.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
think they're gonna do that.
They're gonna make it about the chokehold, right? They're gonna make it about the chokehold as if the chokehold is the thing. Right? It's not about the chokehold. It's not about the way they restrain it. Like this, the chokehold is the plot to a 1989 movie, Do the Right Thing. They're still doing it. It's 2020,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's 2020.
That's why I said them changing that won't change it. It's still gonna be police who's gonna do it. It's still gonna be police who's gonna do it.
Hey, I want y'all to answer. I want y'all to answer a question. Crazy Kozelka said, real question, y'all. Do you believe the American melting pot? Let me start that over. Do you believe the melting pot of America is the reason for the issue? Is degeneration breakdown America's society? Is it all media problem? Would love to hear your thoughts. I think I'm gonna start off with this one. I go around. Crazy. It's a combination of everything that you said there. They're utilizing the ethnic differences here. The fact that we're so culturally diverse, they're utilizing that as a weapon. They're weaponizing racism here throughout the media. That's what they're doing. You know, this society is a melting pot. People come from everywhere. They migrate from everywhere. And that's why they have to keep certain racial discretions in the media. It works for them. It excites people. It angers people.
So yeah, racism has always been a weapon. It's not like the minute you started saying race is about the way a person looks, that was a tool to divide people into certain categories with one group on the top and everybody else on the bottom, right? So the idea of America being a melting pot, sure, it's a melting pot, but it's also a hierarchical government. It's also a hierarchical society where it's not
America's a pyramid scheme.
It's not just about ethnicity. It's also about your purchasing power. Like it's also about it is about the haves and the have-nots as well. But this is also stolen land. So you have to understand the mentality of a person who comes and jacks your shit and knows that the bill is going to come due one day.
Exactly.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, now real quick. Hey, going back to that choking thing. I don't know if you guys know. They modified that policy of the chokehold, where it looks like a chokehold, but now they're able to grab that's almost the back of the neck, kind of with the artery. So they modified that. That's why you still see that. But I mean, there's no real way of telling what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
That's why I said it don't matter what type of laws within the police system that they change, because you're still gonna have them fucking cops who just got some type of chip on their back, who just want to whoop your ass when they see you. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're gonna have, it's just like Ring was saying, man, in any group you can look at, you're gonna see some bad apples and you're gonna have some good apples. You feel me? And you just gotta weed out the bad apples as much as possible, because you're not gonna get rid of them completely. That's my whole thing.
Hey, Raider, real quick, let me read this from France right quick. I put a super chat up. Appreciate you first, France. Appreciate you for the super chat. As always, bro, you're very supportive to this channel, and we all really appreciate you for that. France says, we as a whole nation might be going through hard times, but we will get through this and prevail. After all, we are the greatest nation on earth. Let me tell you something, bro. That's a powerful statement, and this is the type of mindset that people really need to be in. I don't want to sound like this one of these, these spiritualists who's these self-awareness guys that all you have to do is think positive and no, but we do have to understand. See, fear is what's inciting a lot of this shit here, bro. Fear. People are scared. And we do have to understand, like what France is saying. Bro, we've been through fucking a lot of times in this country, but we still here. Things may be different, but we're going to prevail. We're going to make it through this. And that's something that people need to keep in mind. You guys, think about it like this. Like, I don't know how many of you guys move away out of state from where you originally lived. I did. But if you think about, like, you're around your people and the people that you grew up with, and if you grew up, with not so much money, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this. You go around and everybody's got a problem. I don't know how I'm going to make it, man. I don't even know if I'm going to be here. I might get kicked out. So you move away, like I've moved away from Richmond. And you come back 6 years later and you're doing better for yourself. You got money. And those very same fucking people are in those very same dwellings, those very same places they lived in 7 years before, and they crying the same goddamn song. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. The light's gonna get cut off. Motherfucker, you've been in this house for 7 years, and the light's been on all 7 years. You have to know that you're going to prevail. You have to know up here that you're going to make it. Because, guys, when we lose up here, we have lost. And that goes for everyone. Think about it. In sports and life, when you lose the mental, you've already lost. And that's why that statement from France is so important. We got to know that we're going to make it up here, guys, or we ain't going to fucking make it. And that's a fact.
Yeah. Hey, and another thing too, the system, they're made so where they don't change shit until something happens. I'll give you an example. There was these kids crossing the street all the time, and they almost got hit all the time. A car almost ran them over, and they kept telling the city, "Hey, you guys need a light here, a stoplight. You guys need a stop sign here." And they never did shit until one of the kids got killed. It was already too late. They got ran over and got killed. A student. Then after that, they put the light. It's like that goes for everywhere. Every policy too, even with the cops too. They're not gonna do no policies until something happens.
That's right. That's a fact, bro. That's well said. Well said, Raider. So, guys, look, we are 3 hours in. I want, I usually ask for closing thoughts, bro, but this here is a real serious topic, bro. So, John just came in. John, I'm gonna let you go last, John, because you probably have a lot to say and add on. But Mob, Boxing, Alvarete, Get This Smoke, and Raider, I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to give a closing statement. Not usually like we give a short closing thought. I want you guys to give a closing statement to the people that's gonna listen to the playback and the people from the chat. Really about y'all feelings on what's going on in America, bro. Y'all give some input on this, a message to the people, just from you. Starting with you, Mark. Give a message to the people, bro.
Man, my message is I just want everybody to be calm. You feel what I'm saying? And to come together. You feel me? And try to come up with a solution as opposed to igniting these police more than what they already are, because they already on the edge. So don't give them more reasons to start shooting y'all. Don't give them reasons to start doing more crazier shit than they already doing. It's positive ways that we can actually come together and try to make some changes. It's just the fact that everybody got to put their mind into the pot and don't be arguing and don't be going back and forth and shit. We all got minds here, and if we put them together, just like D said, once you lose your mental, it's over. So we can put all these mentals together. I'm pretty sure, bro, we can push this shit to a positive direction. It just take the whole nation. It's gonna take everybody, bro. Everybody that's sitting on the couch, you're gonna have to get up. You got a part in this. You feel me? Whether it be saying something, whether it be sitting in the tweet, whether it be telling your loved ones, you gonna help them out a little bit more. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna be there for them, regardless of what it is, bro. Everybody got a part to play in this, bro, because we all part of America. So.
Right. I appreciate you, Mob. I appreciate those words to the people, bro. And I do really appreciate you coming up here to speak on this.
Don't trip, bro. Much love.
No doubt. Boxer Algarete, give the people some words, bro.
All right. It's gonna be kind of hard to follow what you guys said, but on my point of view, like from where I come from, how I've been raised, this is the only thing I can tell everybody is it's all about control. That's all it is. The example from my point of view that I can give you guys is I come from a place that has 4 million citizens of the United States that don't get to vote for their president, but they still have to abide by all the laws that president comes up with. So if it's not about control, then I don't know what it is about. And this has been going on for more than 60 years and no one has said anything. When I bring up this topic up to any of my white, black, any type of race friends, they are just amazed because they don't even know about it. And they're like, yeah, Puerto Rico, if you live in Puerto Rico, I found this out when I was 15 years old when I moved over there. If you live in Puerto Rico, you can't vote for the president. You got to live in the United States. You got to live in the mainland, how they say, to be able to vote. We're citizens. We are citizens. We are born citizens, just like everybody else.
It's facts.
But we don't get to vote. So if it's not about control, I don't know what it is. But like I said, like you guys said, keep the peace, y'all. Don't give them what they want. That's all they want. They want us to see us like this. They just want to see us all like this. Don't do it. And please stay safe and just stay together. That's all I can say. Stay together.
Hey, I appreciate you, Boxer Algoretti. Great words, bro. Great words. I appreciate you joining and sharing with the people.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Get this smoke, man. Give some words to the people, bro.
Yeah. You know, someone wiser than me said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, right? So, you know, while we're trying to figure all of this thing out, the next time somebody's telling you they're suffering and you hear they're suffering, don't marginalize it, get to the bottom of it and see if you can root it out. All this, the blaming the victims, it's got to switch it. We got to switch it up. And yeah, people should definitely not just have outrage on their minds, and you know, outrage is definitely warranted, but also you got to have solutions and replacements, because you know, all they're gonna do is reform the police. They ain't gonna replace them. So yeah, you got to figure out the kind of society you want and start making the necessary attitude adjustments in your own mind, and then actions out in the world to make sure that happens.
Facts. I appreciate that, Smoke. Well said, bro. Thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing with the people. Raider, give the people some words, man.
What up, guys? Nah, man, you know, I just want to let everybody know, you know, there's the right ways and there's wrong ways of doing things. I know whatever happened was not right, but you know, this is much deeper than that. There's a lot of other shit behind closed doors that people don't even look at. You know, just ask yourself, why are these things happening? You know, like why are they catching cops, breaking windows, making stuff worse than what it is? Why was 80% of the people arrested in Minneapolis not from that state or from somewhere else? They don't, you know, they're not from there when it was peaceful. Why was there stand downs when the National Guard was supposed to come in? Why did the mayor do a stand down? Well, who benefits from that? You know, what's going on? You know, like there's shit behind that they want people to loot. They want all this shit to happen. You know, and people are falling for it. They want anger. They want to divide the people. The reason for that is people say that all the time, but they don't know why. You know, they don't know why they want them to divide. That way, the people that are on top, I don't want to say who, they remain in power. You know, they say, okay, you know, this guy's not doing shit. Or this person's not doing anything. Let's stay with this person. That's what it's all about. So what a coincidence that you have the coronavirus, you have everybody in their houses, that, you know, and then after that, now you have this happen. You know, maybe the situation that happened wasn't part of it, but how they capitalize on that. You know, and this is not going to be the only thing that's happening. This is going to happen all throughout the election. And when the election happens, now they're going to have mail-in ballots. There's something deeper that's going on here that people need to fucking realize. And people don't know. They just look at whatever's on the media. Don't believe whatever's on the media neither. They're going to be passing all the flames. You're going to have the black activists come out. You're going to have more and more drama. More people tricking people into believing that people don't like them, just to divide people, man. So all I can say is stick together. Everybody's stronger. They're stronger when they're together. So that's all I gotta say, man. Keep your eyes open.
Well said, Raider. I appreciate you, bro. People need to hear that, bro. Appreciate it. Mr. Two Hands, John, don't go nowhere because Mr. Two Hands was up here, but Mr. Two Hands, I want you to speak to the people, bro.
Okay, I just wanted to say this. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in everything that you see that you shouldn't even pay attention to what's in front of your face. You should always do your own research, dig deeper into a situation, actively go out, get involved in something that's going on. Do knowledge of crimes going on in neighborhoods that's surrounding you. Instead of trying to conquer the world, conquer your community first. So what I'm saying by that is Do knowledge on the statistics of what happened in your community. Get active with people in your community and try to stop that first. If you're not even proactive around the people that you know that you're intimately involved with every day, then you definitely not even going to be proactive with the world. I hear a lot of everybody saying a lot of good things on the internet and things like that, but nothing happens unless you're proactive with something. So what I'm saying is start at your base. Start at your base, your foundation, with those that you see first, where you see injustice first, and then branch out. But I'm just saying, because once you start doing that, then it creates, you know what I'm saying, an interconnected web of other individuals that want to branch out and create things based off of what you were doing. So that way, you know, you move in with unity and then you get stronger, because it has to be strength in numbers. Until people get proactive and get out and start doing something, nothing is going to change. So we can talk until we blue in the face. We can be as frustrated and as mad as we want behind closed doors. But until people start seeing that we are proactive, nothing will come out of it. So all I do is I suggest you just stay reading, stay up on your knowledge, stay focused on what's going on around you, and you know what I'm saying, start being a beacon of light, you know what I mean? So eventually some shit can change around you, but that's about all.
Mr. Two Hands, before you leave, I really need you to do something, because your saying is really valid and it really works with what's going on in this country, really. And when I give my closing statement, I'm going to kind of speak on your saying. So I need you to give me that saying before you leave, bro. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, man, as we always say at the end of this shit, man, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind, man. Respect to everybody, though.
Facts. I appreciate you, Mr. Two Hands.
I appreciate you too, bro.
No doubt. John Daly, before you go, G Boogie says knowledge is power, and together as a collective, we can make our society great. That's a powerful statement. Well said, G Boogie. I appreciate you for the $10 super chat and all the super chats, G Boogie. You really support this channel. I really appreciate you. And I wanted to read this one too. Kat says, register to vote. Don't just vote in the presidential election, but within your community as well. These people out here bring other people in. That's a fact, bro. These are things that we can do. People think voting don't matter. Vote. Because for all the people that don't think voting don't matter, that's why it doesn't matter. John.
Thanks, D. That's taken me on to the point that I really wanted to make. I've put in your chat the DA's phone number responsible for the charges against Chavin, and I've put his email in there. He's an elected official. He has to be voted in and out of his position. So he needs to see that these guys need to be charged with first-degree murder, and the other officers need to be charged as accessories. The reason I believe in this so strongly is because it's clear to me that the vast majority of black people in America have no faith in the police. You cannot have a good functioning society without a good police, and by a good police, I mean a police that does their job properly. So in this case, we had a guy who potentially had used a fake note. He waited for the police officers to come. He didn't try and run away. They had him handcuffed, and there were 4 officers there, I believe, possibly 5. This is the part I don't understand. How was he not put in the back of the police car, taken to the station for questioning? That's what should happen. That's what a good police force should do. So that's a good police force. Then you trust them, and then you need to start looking at other issues. But I think you have to start with police brutality first. And I think if you made an example of police officers who broke the law, trust could get won back into the police force. And that's so important for a society to function properly. We need laws. The police are supposed to be there to protect the country's citizens. So they're entrusted with your safety. They're entrusted with looking after everybody. So they should be whiter than white. If they break the laws, they should actually be punished more harshly. Whereas it seems that they're being protected when they break the law. So you have this spiraling situation where nobody trusts the police. The police know they can get away with doing whatever they want. And unfortunately, the police are always going to attract individuals who are not suitable to be in power over others, because they're given that power which enables them to bully people. So unless they're punished more harshly when they do that, you end up in this cycle.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So the DA who's put in this charge that even if he gets convicted of it, there's a high chance he won't serve prison time for it, isn't there?
Yeah. In this country.
So yeah. So and he's got a record of physically abusing members of the public, shooting people, various. I think he's had 12 charges of police brutality put against him.
12 complaints filed against him. 12.
So that just illustrates the point I'm trying to make. If a police officer breaks the law, he should have the book thrown at him, because that's the only way you deter other police officers from doing it. It's the only way you deter less than suitable people from joining the police to abuse this power that they're given. Because, you know, in the UK, the police have been investigated and condemned as institutionally racist by our government on more than one occasion. I'm not going to tell you it's all finished and it hasn't gone away. I'm confident that if you're a black man in the UK, you are more likely to suffer injustice than a white man. However, we hardly kill any of our citizens because we don't have any guns. And the last time an unarmed black man was killed by a police officer, it's a few years ago, and they've just completed a thorough investigation, and they've charged that police officer with murder. Hasn't gone to trial yet. Now, in this country, our murder is like your first-degree murder. We have a law called manslaughter that I think is equivalent to your third-degree murder. So they haven't charged him with that. They've actually charged him with first-degree murder. So I only see that as progress, but at least there's some.
Right. So real quick, John, I'm gonna let you finish. Hold on, real quick. Timmy Nealon says, "Great chat, great live, great panel. Hit the like." And Timmy Nealon, I just wanted to appreciate you, bro, for the super chat, and all of you guys for the super chat supporting this channel. This is important, bro, and it is a great discussion, but I think it's necessary, and I appreciate all of you guys for participating and listening in, and share this information. We need to share this information. Share the fuck out of this live, guys. I mean, put it on Twitter, on your Twitter page, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you have. Share this, because people need to hear the things we were talking about today. They really do. Go ahead, John.
But all I really want to close it off with is I'm trying to get this guy's contact details. His name's Mike Freeman. I'm trying to get his contact details out across as many platforms as I can, because I'm here. There's a very limit. I'm very limited as what I can do to help the situation. But I do feel that if he realizes that the weight of public opinion isn't just against him, it's massively against him, and it's across all sections of the society, he may start to worry about his position as an elected official.
Wow. Yeah,
so,
Charles B just corrected us, bro. He had 18 previous offenses. 18. Ridiculous.
The 12 I got that off Instagram. I mean, you know, it's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put those details back in the chat, D. And if you want me to send them to you, that should give them to you direct anyway.
Yeah, do that, John. You got my info. Send me that stuff, bro. And because I might do another video on that. But send that to me. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate your words. Well said, man.
Thanks for your time, and thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you, brother. Munky Kung Fu said, "D, with absolute appreciation and respect to you, everyone involved. Keep the conversation going. Listen to and take each other. Best of you and yours. Peace." Appreciate you, Munky Kung Fu, and like I said, appreciate all of you guys for. This was a long conversation, guys. We've been sitting here for 3 hours, and the majority of you guys stay here the entire 3 hours. And you know, I big ups to you too, Johnny boy. You my bro. You know that. These type of things we need to talk about, guys. I told you guys that I was going to be bringing back the power of the mind, and it's back every Sunday. And again, God, this is the mind. All of this is our mind, because a lot of people don't know these things. A lot of things that we talked about, a lot of facts that was brought up, like about the Virgin Islands, the Somalian Islands, Puerto Rico not being able to vote, but still being governed under the laws that they have no right to vote on. A lot of people didn't know these things. And these things need to be known. A lot of people didn't know the discretions and transgressions that people go through in this country, whether they're white, black, or whatever. People only hear what they see in the media. They don't know the truth. They don't know from live experiences. And this is why we need to have these discussions. We need to discuss the possibilities of what we can do out here to make a change. We need to talk about these things. And that's why I said earlier in the live, everything we talk about today, this is a start, guys. Again, we're only 1,200 strong, speaking of my sports talk family, but it's 1,200 strong. Just think, if 1,200 of us spoke to 100 people, and so forth and so on. It has to start somewhere. We ain't gonna get it right. The fucking government ain't got it right for hundreds of years. We're not gonna get it right, but ideas, idealism, morals, ethics, how are we gonna live? All of that stuff starts here. We can't run around complaining and hollering about the discretions and transgressions that's going on. We have to step up and do something about it. My 21-year-old daughter went out and protested yesterday, filmed it. Got to do something about it. Do we have to do this stuff here? No, we don't have to do this stuff here, but we have to do something about it. And this is a start, guys. And I appreciate all of you guys. And remember, every Sunday, 12 o'clock, the power of the mind is back. This is the type of stuff that we're going to be talking about and what we can do, how we can utilize our mind, the thing that God has given all of us. This thing here, everybody has it. That's the gift that God's given to all of us. And we can utilize that to get through these transgressions. And that's what I want you guys to take away from this discussion for me. That's my closing thoughts. I really appreciate all you guys sitting in. I really appreciate all of you guys that joined the panel and gave, you know, your input on this situation. Guys, next Sunday, with everything going on, we have a lot of these discussions to have, and what we can do to make changes, how we can think about things, how we can utilize our power of the mind to get through. And y'all know how I always in this thing. Much love to the whole Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.